said he was trying to protect me. I... He... He, he came here and took me from the church. He dragged me from here. And he took me all the way over to that house, the burgomaster's house, and the burgomaster didn't say anything when he dragged me up the stairs, almost as if he expected it.
Who was he protecting you from?
He said a man or something. He said that I was being hunted. He said that he had dreamed of me being chased for years and he kept looking for me. Sort of takes a big deep breath as she does and sort of shudders a bit, and she said, I thought he was going to kill me. I did. He looked so upset. He then took me up to his room and locked me in the room, and she just shakes her head.
He should have known you wouldn't be safe from Strahd here, right?
I
There, I mean, not here.
I don't know. He seemed like he was. She kind of looks off and she says, "It seemed like he thought he could protect me from anything, I think. Told me he wouldn't lose me again. He tried to be sort of gentle when we got to his room, and he said, just rest. He said I was safe and everything would be fine, but I told him no. I said I had to get back to the church, and I tried to leave, and he changed." See, she kind of closes her eyes, and as she does, the jaw is sort of shaking. It's like he blocked the door and said I couldn't go, and that if I ran, the devil would take me like he took our parents. When I fought against him, I tried to get through the door, and he told me that I was crazed, and he bound my hands with those leather straps and threw me on the bed. She just kind of stares off, and she says, "The windows, there was nothing, just a couple candles in that room, and just kept pacing inside and muttering, even sometimes like laughing, maybe crying sometimes. All those dolls in that room, all of them." Just shakes her head and kind of puts her arms around herself, almost in a protective hug. He said I'd forget soon. He said I'd forget all the things that were important, that he'd make me remember who I really was.
Who did he think you really were then, if not his sister?
She looks, she says, I don't know. He's he said he was. I I'd return. He said he promised I'd return back to what I was. Like he was talking to me like I was a child, like I was trapped in some sort of nightmare. He said that I was born. Kind of looks away. Says he said he saw me standing in a garden of red roses every night, dressed in white. That I would call his name and then vanish. I think that's he started believing his dreams were more than the world around him, maybe? I don't know, but it's not who I am. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never worn a white dress. I don't know roses. What do you think? I'm so confused. Never thought he was going to let me out. he at times seemed angry, but then he was gentle. He was almost like trying to act like a big brother. He asked some lady that was in the hall, she was cleaning some pictures or portraits, and said if she could bring up some food, and he did, and he allowed me to eat it, however my hands were bound, and that's what was so strange. It's like he cared for me, but I don't know.
Is it a white dress with roses?
Yeah.
Like a wedding?
Maybe.
Were you engaged to someone?
No, I've never been engaged. I've always lived in Barovia. Since I was a child when I was taken in. Bismarck is, my, I guess my other brother. I'm so confused.
Interesting.
He even said, like, why he was sort of pacing and crying and laughing at times. He said that the devil had taken me once and would never let that happen again. He believed he was saving me. I think he really thought that. I think he thought he was saving me.
I think whatever he was trying to do, he was possessed by some kind of evilness. I mean, he turned into a demon and fought us there in that hallway. Did you see what he turned into?
I heard shouting, and I tried to scream for help, but I couldn't. He had gagged me at that point when he heard some people outside the door, and the door rattled, and then there was fire and smoke everywhere. I didn't see what happened. I thought I was going to burn alive in that room. I thought I couldn't get out. I was trapped, and I thought this was the end. And I could hear voices. I thought they were your voices. In a distance, it sounded like you're fighting to find me, and I thought for sure I would never see you all again. And then there you were. I don't even remember how. I don't know if I started to pass out or what, but just as that smoke started to clear, I could see your faces. He was gone. Part of me wishes I could have saved him. He's really my brother. But another part is I'm just grateful I didn't have to choose.
Well, at the end, I really don't think he was your brother. He was possessed by something.
Maybe. She looks kind of torn as you say that. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm not sure what we need to do next.
He told me my parents were taken by wolves. All of a sudden, she blurts out. He said that we were in the woods together with my parents, and the wolves took our parents, and he was left to die all by himself. He thought I was dead as well, and a man with yellow eyes found him in the woods. He told him he had a sister who had been spared and had been saved. He said ever since that night he saw me in his dreams, standing in the light, calling his name. He said that I was that sister. He did. He spoke of dreams, and he said the eyes were wrong, and there was madness in them, but he said something was drawing him to me. You think that's not true? I mean, I remember my parents and being in the woods. Maybe I did have a brother. Maybe I do remember a brother. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he was your brother, but everything he went through, something was very wrong with him. He wasn't a healthy man.
But if he was my brother, maybe my parents are alive. Maybe they're still alive somewhere. Maybe they didn't get killed. Maybe they're still out there.
All these stories of wolves abducting people.
She sort of grunts a little bit, and she looks over to you, and she says, "We're in Barovia. We've seen wolves on the trail here. They attack uncannily."
They didn't seem capable of abduction, though. They seemed capable of murder.
Yeah. Just then you see Father Lucian sort of steps forward quietly. He somehow has obtained a cup of water, and he sets it down beside her, and she sort of picks up the water and takes a long drink out of it, and again sort of takes another drink from it. Puts his hand on her shoulder and he says, "Well, if it's true, he was your brother. Barovia binds its bloodlines in cruel ways. You owe him no guilt, child. His path was written in fire long before yours began." She kind of looks up and she says, "I think he was my brother, don't you?" Father Lucian just shrugs. She just kind of looks down into her cup of water, staring down. Father Lucian turns to you guys and says, "Looks like you've pulled her from one prison, but another waits in the streets. Baron is dead. The house is in ashes. Chaos will rise with the dawn."
Well, I'm sure Lady Wagner will be pleased.
As he looks to you, he looks down to Ireena and then back to you again. With almost a look of, not like of a consternation, right? Just sort of like thinking. And then he looks back down at Ireena. He says, "Rest, my child. Please, before the next fire burns." And he indicates to the pew, and you notice that he has a blanket that's over on the back pew, and he kind of picks it up and lays it over her shoulders, and you see she starts to lie down, and as she does, she says, I don't know if I was truly his sister, but on my hands, Father, I saw his eyes, and I swear, for a moment I thought he was the one in chains." He goes, No, my child. Try to get some sleep." And he kind of indicates to you guys and sort of points towards the far corner of the chapel, completely opposite of where she's at.
I'll follow his instruction.
So as you start to move over to the other side, he starts to walk that way too, and Ireena takes another quick drink and kind of just lays her head down on her arm, sort of staring off vacantly, and slowly you see that her eyes start to fall fairly quickly. The father sort of indicates for you to kind of come over, and he just sort of stands there, and you can see that Ireena's breathing steadies and her eyes close. She sort of kind of moves back and forth and continues to kind of tuck her in with the blanket, and he just kind of sort of waves over to the other side of the room there. As he does, you can hear the sound of a Luna kind of up in the rafters of the church kind of creak, and you can see her kind of flutter over to the bell tower. She takes a watch outside. He comes over, if you guys all go there, and he says, she sleeps. May not be peacefully, but she gets sleep nonetheless. I don't think she would have slept well tonight.
What did you give her?
I gave her Rango root. It allows you to be calm and get some sleep. Are you familiar?
We call it something different, but it does the same thing.
She'll be fine in the morning. She may not sleep well, but at least she'll get some sleep. It looked like
Yeah.
she needed it. She looked distraught.
I agree.
So, the rumors travel fast. Sounds like some people left the burgomaster's place and said that the Baron had been killed by some group of individuals that came into the building. His house burns. People of this town will wake to find their rulers gone if they don't know already. They're going to look for someone to blame. Takes a big breath. Devil Strahd does not need to strike with claws or fangs when fear is going to do the work for him in this town.
Who would normally take over, in this circumstance? Who would step up to be the new burgomaster?
Well, depends on the fickleness of the town. Sometimes we've had an election, sometimes it's been a family member or an heir. Other times it's been decided by the guards have made that decision. It's tough to say. You had commented about Lady Wagner. That's definitely a possibility. I'm not sure that's the best agent. Possible.
Why do you have doubts with Lady Wagner?
I have doubts with everybody. If you've lived here long enough, you know that everyone has their own motive and their own method of what they're doing. Some would say even I do as well. One thing's for sure. Definitely have thrown Vallaki into chaos. Whether that's by fate, by the Morning Lord's blessing, or necessity, I don't know. May I ask? Why?
Why?
The burgomaster died. The Baron.
Don't remember the details, but he was pretty aggressive, including his dogs. Isn't that right, Rip?
Yeah, very aggressive.
Uh-huh.
Sad to see what happened to him, but I heard the docs got out.
Good. Either persuasion or deception, however you guys want to go about it. I'll have whoever was talking roll, that'd be great. So I think that's Little B and Rip.
I honestly don't know what happened. to
Oh, okay,
start
then
it.
Rip. It'll be Rip. We got Rip. Let's get you going, Rip. What do you got? Oh, yeah, that's good. Nice.
Just what a monk dreams of.
Yeah,
Rolling
yeah.
Deception rolls.
I love it. Well,
Yeah,
he says,
if you remember, I was a spider in the pantry at that point.
that's true. That is true. He comes over and he puts his hand on Rip's shoulder gently, and he says, "Don't mistake your actions for sin, my son. Morning's Lord Light does not judge necessity, only cruelty. You saved a soul tonight, but shadows of the Devil Strahd have noticed for sure."
Don't worry about me. I'll sleep like a baby. I don't need any of that root stuff.
I think we should spend the night here and not leave Ireena alone.
Father Lucian nods. I agree. I think it's best to lay low. Let the flames cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. As he looks out the eastern window and sees the flames flickering and the light off in the distance with the smoke coming up from the burgomaster's house. I do wonder, though. I'm sure the Festival of the Blazing Sun will not be cancelled. I'm sure the Baron's men won't pretend that nothing's changed.
Who will take over?
I don't know. Tomorrow we will find out.
Do you know where will there be a town hall meeting or what?
I have no idea. We'll either be under martial law by the guards as they search to find the killer of the Baron, or there will be a election in the town center, or someone will rise up in the vacuum and take the position outright. Your guess is as good as mine.
You had not necessarily mentioned why you were not a fan of Lady Wagner.
I like anyone who looks after the city of Vallaki. She is rumored to have other thoughts from other places, as you are well aware. You've heard the rumors, I'm sure, haven't you?
Oh, we've only been in town like 2, 3 days. We haven't really heard.
Some people say that her will is the will of the devil Strahd. That anybody that helps.
Who isn't working with Strahd in this town? My goodness.
He just shakes his head. That's the problem.
Maybe you should lead this town.
Mine is the church. Have you met with her before? Do you know her?
We had a meal over at her house recently. She called for us.
See, Father Lucian kind of looks quizzically at you. Kind of gathers up his robes a little bit and sort of leans against one of the pews that is there. And
she told us all about her family, being rulers of this town at one point. I look around at my brothers. I didn't get the feeling that she was working with Strahd. Maybe I missed something?
it may not be any of my business and you don't have to tell me, but did you make a deal with her? Dinners are not for pleasure with her, they're for business.
I don't think we directly agreed to anything.
She did have some ideas on how to take care of Isaac.
Yeah, but we didn't do that. We do our own thing.
But that was pretty... I was surprised that a woman of her status would have plans like that. Or desires, I guess.
Well, I guess tomorrow we'll tell what's going to happen. Won't it?
Where do you think the burgomaster's son would have ran off to?
He left?
When the house caught on fire, I saw him and told him to get out of the house because, we weren't there to hurt innocents at all.
You see a smile comes across his face as you say that, and he says, Morning Lord told me that you all were under his graces. I think it's her graces, actually. I apologize. Her graces. Says, I don't know where he would run to. He fancies the Wagner daughter, or the Wagner daughter, maybe her house.
Hmm.
Yeah. Kind of looks, as you can see, that the light is starting to sort of dim inside the chapel itself, and he looks back and he sees one of the candles. There's several of the candles on the altar have sort of burned down so that their wicks are very low, but you can see there's a candelabra next to it that's not lit, and kind of gathers up his robes, and he walks up and lights the candelabra from the other candles that are almost burning out, and the light kicks back up again. And as he does, he kind of stops and looks and pauses as he does that, as he's directly across from Ireena. He says, as you can hear him clearly, he says, "She has been the devil's desire since I've known her. And I suspect she has even since before she was born." Night she saw his cruelty reflected in the eyes of her own blood. He looks back to you guys. You all have bound your fate to her. You definitely have done that now. I cannot say whether that is mercy, damnation. Time will tell, won't it? Kind of reaches back and grabs another candle and lights another candelabra that's next to it, and the light becomes very bright in here, and he says, "I agree, Fozzie. Rest here tonight. The morning Lord wills it. You'll see another dawn. Very quietly, for I fear the Barovia's master already knows all of your names."
Well, considering we met him in an alley recently, I'm pretty sure he knows our names.
Yeah.
As you say that, his eyes go wide, and you notice he makes a quick sort of religious gesture that you would recognize as he's made at church proceedings before. He says, "You have met him in the city of Vallaki?"
2 nights ago, I believe now.
I think we've met him here twice, haven't we? Or was it somewhere else we met? We met him on the road on the way here.
Devil always watches the hearts of Barovia as a wolf watches its flocks. I didn't expect him to be this close in Vallakia. When blood stains the pastures, the beast will come running again. He will be back. Be back. Thank God the bones will keep us safe. Just then, you hear off in the distance through the door that's barred behind you the sound of a lone wolf that howls out loudly. Not in hunger, but more in answer to what Father Lucian had just said. As it does, you can hear the sound kind of roll and echo into the building. And even up in the rafters, you hear Luna shudder as it sort of makes her kind of twitch as she's up in the window. Just then you hear a far-off thunder rumble that seems to roll towards the church and rumbles over.
Eerie.
That's a freaking great roll. I don't know what that was for, but that was a great roll.
I forgot rolls for everybody. Oh, man. 20.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome, man. A great roll. He sort of picks up his prayer book that's on the altar and kind of walks to the down the hallway, if you remember, and his room was off to the right, and opens up the door and indicates to the door to the left. He said, "There are more blankets and pillows in there if you need them. Suggest you get some sleep. Tomorrow morning will be a interesting day."
Does he let Bear in the church?
Yeah, Bear's in the church.
Okay, good.
Yep. Yeah, you guys all came running in, right? And he kind of barred the doors behind, knowing something was amiss. So, yep, Bear's with you. As he says that, he closes the door. You can see a small candlelight underneath his door.
Well, and it's a church, so I don't know that we need to keep a watch. But I'm pretty beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
could use some sleep.
I was thinking if you know, maybe we should talk to the family that owns the inn. They seem like good people. The Martikal people, I believe. Maybe if they have some kind of legitimate elections, maybe one of them might be interested.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, that's a tomorrow thing. And Littlepy does what she does best, goes over, finds this, doesn't even have to be a soft spot, and just stretches out.
She get out the pipe. That's what I want to know. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. No pipe in the church or pipe in the church? That's the question.
Well, I think she's lit enough things on fire tonight. She's just gonna go straight to sleep.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her one bit. Are you all doing a watch tonight or no?
I can start with a watch.
I'm just asking. You don't have to.
Yeah, we'll do a watch. Yeah.
I know. Littlepy had mentioned not doing a watch, but I just want to make sure that. All right, so it sounds like Fozzie and Pip are doing watches. How about you, Rip?
I'm just gonna chill. I think I'm
All
gonna
right.
sleep through the night.
All right, okay.
What?
So we got Fozzie and we got Pip and we got Bear. I assume probably doing a watch.
I mean, if they wake me up in the morning for my normal one, I would definitely
You would do it.
that.
Oh yeah, I know you would. I know. So
Yeah, me too.
of course. All right. So as you get through the night, you rest without any difficulty. Difficulty is in interruptions. As you do sleep, you do have sort of a kind of a restless sleep a little bit that occurs throughout the night. But Rip, I just gave you all a long rest. But Rip, as you are sleeping, during your sleep, you have dreams of the past. And those dreams are the past of you and your sister. At the monk school, doing your training. And she keeps beating you at the same maneuver, right? She tells you, come on, Rip, do it again. And you try to do the swing leg, and she quickly jumps over and kind of pushes you back on your back and laughs. And she goes, good job. Come on, you can do it, Rip. You can do better than that. Come on, stand up. Let's go.
All right, I'll stand up and give it a go.
All right, so you give it another.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. I'm gonna sweep it.
You do another thing, and as you do, you see Ember kind of jumps over the leg again and pushes you down, and she says, you're never going to beat anybody without swinging the leg right. You're not doing it right. She says, here, hang on a second. And you see she goes over, and as she does, she picks up what looks like a silver sort of wand of sorts. And she sort of twirls it between her fingers. And she hands it to you, and she says, here, try it with this.
All right.
So as you go ahead, yeah.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. Well, sweep her leg.
You just hang on to it.
Yeah.
So as you do, and you start to sweep the leg, as the leg goes underneath her, you see a bolt of lightning shoots out of your foot, hits her on the shin, and knocks her down. She looks back up to you and she says, that's my Rip. Good job! And she stands up. That's impressive. I love it. She says, let's do it again.
Okay. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
As you do, this time, as you sweep the leg around, you feel your hand instinctively sort of moves forward, doing almost like a flurry of blows, and lightning shoots out of your hand as you hit. And she gets knocked over again, and she goes, "That's awesome! I love it!" She's like, "I wish you could hang on to that thing forever." And she comes over, and as she does, she puts her hand on your shoulder, and she just sort of shakes you a little bit. And as that happens, you see Ozzy with his hand on your shoulder, kind of shaking you.
What do you need? You gave me shaken siblings syndrome.
You see that as you open your eyes, the sunlight, or not sunlight, the light is starting to finally start to come into the building. You can see the rest of your siblings are up and sitting in the pews and appear to be sort of getting their bedding all together and everything. And you seem to have slept a little bit longer. What's there? And you don't see a wand in your hand, but you do notice on your hand there's now a lightning bolt tattoo that's crossed your hand. Since you were fighting Isaac and defeated him, you've received the Flicker of Ember. It's an elemental surge.
Ooh. Goes with my storyline too.
It does, and it's on this crumpled paper that you see. So it's engraved into that piece of paper that you have. So once per long rest, when you do a flurry of blows, you can add 1d4 fire or lightning to that strike.
Ooh, nice. I like it. That's once per turn I can do that?
Once per long rest.
Wow.
It's all right. You never know what'll happen coming up. We'll see.
I'm gonna stretch everything out of that 1d4.
I love it. I love it. As you finally start to wake up, you hear from literally like next to you, like above you, you can hear the bell, the toll of the St. Antral's bell ringing in the morning, which happens every day. And as it does, you can hear it sort of ring sort of unsteadily, sort of indicating the morning has started. And you hear it kind of ring 2 or 3 times as it happens. As you look out the window, you can see that there's no signs of, I mean, it's stained glass, but you don't see any signs of any fire at all. You do get this sort of smell of smoke that is kind of wafted in from beneath the door that's there, of like a wet burning smell that you can smell, like if there's been a campfire and it got wet. You can see Father Lucian has finally come out and sort of rubbing his hands as he's rubbed the bell for church. Says, "Unlock the doors. Streets are fairly empty right now. Still some smoke that drifts faintly through. Baron's mansion appears to be lost completely."
Did we want to try to get back to the inn to speak with the innkeepers there? What's our next course of action? I look to Fozzie, Willoughby, and Riptide.
You see Ireena sits up and she says, "I'm gonna stay here. I'm not leaving. Need the protection of Father Lucian, I think. I hope that's okay."
I think that's probably smart. What do you guys think should be our next steps? I mean, we burned down the Burgomeister's home, killed the... we were there when it burnt down. What's our next steps? Is Father Lucian like right next to us, or
No, he's moved along.
I'm mostly just trying to ascertain like what we're trying to do here, because I'm like
Well,
confused.
I don't know. Like, I did usher that old lady and the boy out of the house, and some of the the staff, but they really think that we're the blame for that, which I know technically we are. I know.
Just then you see one of the townsfolk opens the door to the church, and she says, Father Lucian. Says, yes, my child. The Baron, he's gone. They say that his own guards turned on him. They say he burned down the building. Says, no,
I
child.
turned to Rip and high five him.
Says, we don't know what happened. Come in, please. You're here for morning prayer. She says, yes. The church is going to be busy this morning, Father. Can't imagine the people of Vallaki not coming to the church for guidance. He says, I know. She comes in and sees you all standing there and kind of walks by and goes and sits down in one of the pews and picks up what looks like a small book and starts saying her prayers.
Oh, talking a little more quietly.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do next? Go talk to the innkeeper or maybe Lady Wagner, but according to what the priest here says, she might not be a good option. I mean, she did technically tell us that we were supposed to bring somebody's head back to her, right?
I was wondering if anybody remembered that.
I never felt really comfortable about that part.
No, me either. But we did technically finish the task, so do we just go over there and see how the conversation goes?
But if she's in league with Strahd also...
Just then you hear another person comes in and he's like, Father, Strahd burned that house to the ground. He did it, that's what they said, I'm telling you.
Who did?
Isaac.
It's like, Lady Wagner said that she warned everyone that this was a problem. That the Baron's house would self-implode. I knew it. I know she's going to restore the order now. There's no doubt in my mind. Father says, we don't know what's going to happen, son. Please, come in.
Oh, boy. Maybe we just... Yeah, I don't know. This is going well, is it?
All right.
Hey, I think there's no evidence of her being in league with Strahd. We can't go on rumors. We have to find proof if that's the case.
So we go talk to her then?
I think so. And tell her, well, while we couldn't get the head, he's dead.
Kudos. That was pretty good. You see two more walk in at the same time. The church is kind of filling up.
Pip,
you're fine, but yeah.
was she going to give us any kind of reward? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I was eating at the moment.
I think so, but I know that she had a vendetta. I thought she had a reason why she really didn't like him, and didn't it have something to do with wasn't it more a personal issue? I didn't think it was related to Strahd.
Yeah, Strahd never came up in our conversation that I remember.
I don't remember that either. Why don't we head back there?
You hear a gentleman in one of the pews say, thank God we're all here. The Morning Road's wrath did this. It's for us mocking the festivals that the Baron had always put up. Killed the Baron. I know that there's more evil coming towards us. We shouldn't have mocked them. We should have been engaged and entertaining. God knows what she's going to place in the city now.
Might as well see what the fallout is.
Okay, let's go.
So as you step out, you do see that the clouds appear to be much more darker than they have been in the past, almost threatening, as if to open up and pour a deluge down on the rest of the smoke and the burning embers. You can see that the streets are pretty close to empty. There's a few townfolk that are kind of moving about. You can see several are sort of running into the church, not running, but quickly walking, and you can hear one of them says, "Please, I hope we don't miss the service. Need all the help we can get now." And you can see they keep kind of glancing around, almost afraid if the air itself is listening as people are whispering and walking. Everyone looks at you with a little bit more suspicion than they did before. You're not sure if this is your perception or if they really truly are looking at you that way, but everyone seems to sort of give a wide berth as they see you. The air is cold and sort of kind of nippy, where you can feel the coldness around the neck, where you kind of pull your shirt up around or lift up the collar if you have one, or pull the cloak up and over just because of the cool that's in the air today.
Man, is it cold out here, or are people staring at me funny? I keep walking towards, following the group towards.
Okay, gotcha. So as you continue to walk, you do see the people, a few that are there. You kind of pass the Blue Water Inn because it is on the way. You do see the familiar sign of the wooden blue waterfall swaying sort of in the wind that's there. Now that you have that sort of damp, almost wet campfire out smell, you get just a hint of a smell of roasted grain that sort of drifts out from the chimney that's there, and damp, kind of a damp wood that's there. You can see that through the windows there's several people that are sort of sitting there eating as well. As you peek through, you can see Erwin and Danica are kind of working behind the counter. The warmth in the inn appears to be a little bit more dull. There's not a lot of smiles. You can see people sort of leaned over and whispering back and forth to each other as you guys walk by. You see, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna murmur to my family. Did anyone have anything they wanted to say before we head to the Wagner estate?
Just then you see two guards kind of walk by and eye you suspiciously. One of them says, "Hey, you!"
Is he looking at anybody specific, or is he just
The group.
saying, "Hey, you"?
He's looking at the group. He's like, "Hey,
No, we'll just keep walking.
hey, where were you guys staying last night?"
We're on Wagner family business. We must report immediately.
You see one of them sort of looks and he says, "Okay, very well." And he turns and starts walking away, talking to his colleague. As you continue to make your way down the street, you see that the Wagner estate looms kind of behind that rusty gate with the ivy crawling up the facade. You can see there's crows that are perched along the roof line, probably about 15 or 20 of them, that are kind of sitting there as you walk up to the door that you know. The door is closed. As you do, you can see that the drapes to the entire house are closed.
I'm scared.
I knock on the door.
As you knock, the door opens. As you kind of knock on it, the door wasn't latched and it swings open. And as it does, you can see there's like a little bit of there's candles that are lit, and you can see kind of the smoke kind of wave through as the door opens, and the doors are open all the way in. And there's a smell of old parchment that you smell inside. Just then, you see one of the servants inside walks from where the dining room is towards the kitchen, if you remember the layout of that. Remember, there's a coat room, and then you walk in, there's steps going up, and then there's that passageway on your left and right that goes to the dining room. And you see one of them passes by, and as she does, she seems to be holding what looks like some like heavy black fabric as she passes by.
Excuse me.
She looks to you, and as she does, she makes eye contact with you, and she immediately looks straight ahead and starts walking into the kitchen.
That's rude. Well, Fozzie. After you.
Sure. Come on, Bear.
So as you guys make your way in through the coat room area and into the intersection, you can see off to the left the dining room. The dining room is completely set up for what looks like a formal dinner. However, there's no food that's there, so everything's all dressed. You can see in the corner there are servants that are putting heavy, thick black drapes over the windows to make it almost completely black except for the candles that you can see there. You can hear the sound of what sounds like a little bit of a crackling fire coming from the parlor that's just off the right. You can see a little bit of light coming from that parlor room. The upstairs is completely dark. The kitchen, you can see there's a few candlelight. The door's open, and you can see the servant that had passed you is looks like she's sewing or fixing one of these large black drapes.
Someone celebrating something?
Doesn't look at you at all, Pip, when you say that.
Is the lady of the house around?
Suddenly you hear, "Ah!" You hear her voice. "Is that the heroes of Vallaki I hear? Please, in the parlor."
I'll head to the parlor if everyone else is headed that way.
I'm assuming the group goes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so as you make your way in, you see Lady Fiona Wagner sitting there comfortably in a large sort of chair. In front of her, you can see a large breakfast that's set on the table there, or on the kind of the coffee table. I forget what they're called, but we'll call it that. You can see there's a fire burning, and the way the fire in the fireplace is burning, with the way her chair is, it almost looks like there's light flickers, or not flames, but the light is sort of flickering over the chair, sort of casting these very dark shadows across her face, sharp shadows. As she looks and she smiles, she says, "Ah, it is the heroes of Vallaki. Or shall I say, its liberators." She smiles. She indicates with her hand and points to the couches that are there, indicating for you to sit.
I'll do so.
So you've heard the news then?
"I have. You have done what the Morning Lord's Chosen could not. You have freed us from a fool in his torchlit tyranny."
Well, Lady Wagner, we're just gonna put all of our cards on the table this morning.
Oh,
Because
I
it's
love
been
cards.
it's been a night.
Indeed.
What is your alliance? Or your thoughts, I should say, on Strahd? And I lean forward and give her the eye.
She said, "I guess we are playing all our cards today, aren't we? Well, it's good to know that..." Sits there for a second. "Lillaby, isn't it?
Oh, yes, ma'am, it is.
Lillaby, I'm glad to see that the eldest doesn't beat around the bush. I take it you've heard some rumors about me."
Yes, things we didn't hear before we came to visit you the first time. So that's why we just want to be clear and understand who we're working with.
Of course. Well, let's just say that Strahd runs these lands. He is the land. We live in these lands. And if you're going to coexist in the land, you must be willing to not be rigid. And the sooner that Vallaki accepts that, the sooner we will know peace. But do not mistake my reverence for weakness. I serve him so others may live. She looks at you very intently as she says that. Then she sort of smiles for a second and has this kind of like almost, I don't want to say motherly, but sort of this caring look. And as she does, her eyes sort of bore towards you and she says, and you should consider the same.
I'm not very good with serving.
She sort of smiles and she says, all I really seek is order. And as you know, chaos feeds the devil. And
But wasn't the Baron working with Strahd also?
Of course he was. And it's
But
a
look
shame.
at the mess that he made.
The Baron?
The Baron.
Well, the Baron was all about doing something different every week, pretending that being joyful will keep him away. Like the Festival of the Blazing Sun, which we know as the Baron's corpse cools. He smiles. Cools. Yeah, we know that the Festival of the Blazing Sun is going to proceed, isn't it? Such a pity. The city does not need that. The city needs order. So you did it, didn't you? When I ask you to take care of Isaac Strazani for me, I never in my wildest dreams expected this. Never, never, never. Well, it doesn't matter whether you did it or didn't. The truth always drifts to those who listen. Vallaki is frightened. Very frightened this morning.
So, what do we get for doing your dirty deed?
Oh, yes, that's true. I think I owe you something. You were going to pay me back with something, I think, weren't you? Did you perhaps bring it?
Well, the thing about that, Isaac actually turned into a demon-like creature while we were fighting him.
Really?
Really?
Wow. A demon? I never would have thought.
You know, the arm wasn't a giveaway.
She just kind of chuckles for a second, and you see she reaches down, and as she does, she takes her fork and she very daintily stabs a piece of meat, puts it up and puts it in her mouth and chews on it.
Is it cooked or raw?
It's raw. And as she does, a little bit of the blood from the meat kind of drips. She kind of sucks it up from the corner of her lip and she smiles. She says, the arm was a giveaway, wasn't it? I'm shocked that you took the mission. So, rewards we talked about, right? Rewards. Yes, we did discuss that. I suppose you don't have his head, though. That's no bother. I don't need it to show to the Baron because...
Didn't really last long.
The Baron's disposed of anyways. I was going to use it to show him that his power had been lost, but no need for that. She says, as I had promised to you, silvered weapons. You remember?
Yes, of course.
She says, I have 30 silvered crossbow bolts for you. 4 silvered spears. I'm more than willing to give up 2 sets of armor that I have.
Okay.
And she says,
Crossbow bolts don't do me much good.
what would it serve you then?
Probably longbow, arrows,
Fine. 30 longbow, silvered longbow arrows.
Sure.
And I'm happy to give enough silver to silver 2 weapons of your choice.
I guess.
Hey, Lil.
Yes.
If she's with Strahd, why is she giving us silvered arrows and silvered weapons?
Don't know. I was wondering that myself.
Kind of strange. Okay.
There's always one that wants to take out the other one to climb up.
Good point.
Okay.
I guess I'll take a silver dagger.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Say that louder.
Oh, I guess I'll take a.
That's awesome. She says, yes, you'll take a...
Silver dagger, please.
Oh, of course. The subtle one.
I'm looking for monk weapons. 5e
Silver-
bookbinder, don't fail me now.
Silver shurikens.
Right?
Is that what they're called?
I think so, yeah. Shurikens, yeah. She says, is there anything else you would like to ask me? I think that I am going to be pretty busy coming up.
We're trying to get home,
Ah,
and we want to know, like, any idea what our next step might be.
well. Have you had a chance to have the Vistani tell you your future? They always guide the next steps in this land.
Yeah, we did. And somehow all of the notes I took have been thrown away.
Oh no! That's not good.
Yes.
The dog broke out of his house and ate his notes.
Oh, that's too bad.
I don't know what happened to him.
Well,
Your penance is 20 hours of videos. No, I'm just kidding.
20 hours of videos.
What episode was that? I'll have to go find it.
I'm not sure. 4 maybe? Maybe it was 2. I don't remember. 3, 4, one of them. So she I'll give you a bone. So she says to you, she says, you had mentioned to me the last time you were here something about ancient foe of an old noble house.
Yeah.
Says, follow me. She kind of gets up from the table, and as she does, she puts the fork down, and she reaches down and she grabs her drink, which appears to be a goblet with very dark red liquid in it. She says, please, come with me.
The goblet down?
She took it with her.
Oh, okay.
As she does, you see she goes out the dining room and up the stairs, and as she goes up the stairs, she leads you into a library. See, there's lots of books that are here, but when she gets in there, she takes a thin, worn volume off of the upper shelf that you see, and it's titled The Noble House of Wachter by Lady Lovina Wachter. And you see she kind of pages through some pages of the book. She says, my reward for you is to give you some information about my family. Do with it what you will. Maybe it will give you a little bit of solace, or maybe it'll give you angst. Please. And she kind of turns the page and she says, my ancestor, Lady Lovina Wachter de Desilene, came to Barovia shortly after Strahd van Varovich settled it. For her loyalty, she received deeds to the land and the estates, as well as the Barovian title with Strahd as her liege lord. Lovinia, an ancient amateur historian, wrote The Noble House of Wachter document this family history, which allegedly dates back all the way back to the old Zarvia, long before Barovia was ever founded. She kind of continues to page through as she's paging, and she stops on a page and she sets it down on the desk with her hand on top of it. And you see on top of it, the page is titled The Wedding. And you can see that it's written in sort of erratic, jagged pen strokes at odds with clean and elegant script with the remainder of the book. The wedding's written kind of like in an odd writing, right? So she says, in the book as you read it, it says, the wedding of Prince Sergei von Varovich and Tatiana Ferdinova began with good cheer, but ended in madness and blood. Prince Sergei was found dead in his chambers, his bride-to-be rumored to have cast herself from the overlook in despair. Though no suspect was confirmed, Leo de Silnia, my own kin, led the treacherous uprising against Lord von Varovich, abetted by a score of castle guards. When they sought to mediate, they turned upon us, slaughtering Vladstanov and his mother and confining us within the confines of the kitchen. It was only by some miracle that Lord von Varovich emerged unscathed from their assault. Now possessed with unearthly power, he smote the traitors and drove Leo himself from the castle. In his escape, I saw Leo's face contort with hatred and disgust. Blood traitor, I name you, Lovina, he swore. For your allegiance to the beast who abandoned the Reinhold to his fate. He renounced the bond and proclaimed that he no longer part of the house of Vizelsenia, and he vowed that one day he would expunge the Wachter blight from the valley, once and forevermore. I do not know what became of him. He is gone from the pillar stone now, and though more of the treacherous guard return to the casks of the castle each day, his face is not among them. But each night I hear his voice in the nightmares. I know he yet lives, and the dread of his occasion of his return.
Who is this? Is that Leo von Varovich? Is that who it is?
She doesn't say anything, she just looks at you guys.
I hope somebody knows who she's talking about.
She says, what I know is Vladislav was a Wachter and Lovina's husband. I don't know who Reinhold is. And I don't know any more information about Lady Lovina Wachter, or Leo, or Sergei, or this Tatiana that's talked about in this passage. The reason why I share this, she says, this ancient foe of an old and noble house reminds me of this.
Reinhold sounds familiar.
Just the rest of the book has just genealogies and family legends, notable figures of the House Wachter, but nothing more about Strahd. This is all I have. So when you question if I'm in league with Strahd, think it shows my family is not from this passage.
I see that.
Thank you for that.
As you're standing there looking at the book, you can hear what sounds like shouts outside, almost echoing through the house. Angry voices, something going on. Hear it. Lady Wagner looks back and
Hey.
forth.
Before you go, have you ever heard of the Pool of the White Sun?
Ooh. White sun. She's like, I've heard of a sun. I've not seen it ever. Supposedly it bores great light. But I heard the light was yellow, not white. No, never heard of that. You hear the angry voices continue to rise, and suddenly you can hear off into the distance, it sounds like barking of orders. Unsure exactly what it is, but clearly there's some people that are sort of getting something into attention, or something. It sounds like a crowd's forming. You see Lady Wagner takes the book and she folds the book up and puts it up into the thing, and as she does, she sort of puts her hands and she straightens her dress that you notice. She kind of poofs up the large shoulder, whatever they are, bouffants, you know what I'm talking about, like the big puffy shoulders. She kind of puffs them up. She runs her fingers through her hair. She kind of gets this sort of smile there, and she says, it begins. Come, come. You wish to see how quickly men trade faith for fear. The square awaits. And she walks out the door and starts down the steps.
Is there a table in the room?
There is.
I'm gonna push the table over to the bookcase and steal the book.
All right, got it. All right,
Oh,
sounds
my-
good.
Oh man.
Because I need the information in there and I didn't get it all.
All right, sounds good. So you do that and take the book, hop down.
Yeah. And then I follow her out.
All right.
Follow her. Hurry after her.
I assume the rest of you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you do, you
Wait,
see that
before
oh,
she did, before we
Yeah.
go out of there, did she put down her drink?
she did.
Can I go over and subtly see what it is? Like, is it wine? What's the liquid?
Nature check for me.
Oh, okay. And I'll take a drink of it.
It has a very metallic taste to it.
Does it taste like wine?
Yeah, it does. It tastes like wine.
All right. All right. I was thinking for a minute she might be a vampire. You know, we're good. We're good.
All right. As you walk out, it sounded like you guys were going to walk out. So as you do, you can see that her servants are sort of lined up behind her as she walks at the front. And as she walks, you can see there are some guards, Vallaki guards, that sort of fall in next to her as she walks down the center of the street. And the guards sort of guide her towards the town square. You can see some of the guards sort of bend a knee as she walks by. Others just sort of look and shake their head as she continues to walk down the street. You can see that there's dozens of town folk that are now sort of all congregating towards what looks like the town square. You can hear the sound of sort of a low trumpet sort of sounding in front of you, which sounds like it's coming from the square. And as you get there, you can see that the square is just gathered with tons of people. A lot of them are uncertain. They look sort of restless. Some of them are even desperate. You can see whispering back and forth. They do have sort of a couple of the banners that were on the house that are sort of burnt and sitting next to a brazier in the center of the the town square. You also can see that the gallows are empty and the stocks are half broken, that are sitting there, and there's a cold wind that sort of blows through, and as it does, it carries in that smell of soot, coming from the west, from the Baron's house, as it kind of comes up the street from the southwest. As you're kind of walking up, you see a woman sort of yells out in her voice. She says, "The Baron is gone. Vallaki must have order again." And you can hear the crowd kind of murmurs a little bit. And you can hear, as you guys are walking up, you can hear, "Wagner's the one. Wagner for Burgomaster." And all of a sudden you can hear someone else sort of shout and say the same thing. And another one's like, "No, we can't have that." You can see that you continue to kind of walk towards the area, and you can see the guards sort of split the crowd as they're moving through, kind of pushing people out of the way as Lady Wagner walks towards the front. And you can see that the crowd kind of closes in behind her as she walks forward and through the thing, and you can start to hear somebody yelling, Wagner for Burgomaster," and you can hear it kind of rumbling through the crowd as other people are saying otherwise. You can see there's guards that are all throughout here. You guys, the crowd is sort of closed in again. Where would you like to be, or what do you want to do?
Gosh. I am so distrusting of her a little bit. Like, I almost want to take this moment as a distraction to investigate the house a little more, but I'm not sold on that.
We're in the center of town, right?
Yep. Oh, let me move the marker if you're on the map. Yep, you're right there.
Oh, I see.
That's the
You could have stayed behind if you wanted.
No, I mean, I definitely would have come with you guys throughout all this. So, but I'm just throughout the time as we're walking, I'm just I guess I'm not totally sold on her, but it's a very convenient way to get out of burning a building down and murdering a burgomaster. So I'm kind of going with it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything to cause a scene or make anything.
Does it seem like more are calling for her to take over, or what does the breakdown seem like?
Yeah, so why don't we do kind of a perception roll as you look through the crowd to see? Yeah, so it looks, as you look around, it looks like the group is fairly divided. There doesn't seem to be a clear sort of pushing in her direction. The crowd is really uneasy as they're kind of looking about, almost as if they don't know what's going to happen. At least for the ones that aren't yelling for Lady Wagner. The ones that are yelling for Lady Wagner are almost gleeful when they see her walk through the crowd and starts to make her way.
Rude. I know there's a lot going on, but you probably saw Lillaby walk over to a signpost and start talking to a bird.
There's a raven that's perched on top of the thing, and you see it look down towards Lillaby. It looks back off to the crowd, and then looks down and looks back to the crowd, and then you hear a yell out, "Rude." Just then, a cold wind kind of sweeps through the square right behind you, and you can feel it kind of bristle up against there, and you can see the brazier in the front sort of flares suddenly very bright, and just for an instant and then you see it sort of dies down again. And as it does, you can hear thunder rolling off towards the east, which draws your eyes over, and you can see the Castle Ravenloft sitting off into the distance, as you can see lightning sort of striking around there and rain that's off into the distance. And just as you're kind of staring off, you hear that thunder sort of roll just afterwards. You're not sure if it's your imagination or if it's something maybe worse. You could have thought you heard the faint echo of a gentle laughter rolling in the wind.
Oh boy.
You see Lady Fiona sort of steps up on this sort of burnt scaffold that's there. And you can see there's piles of burnt timber that you assume is from the Baron's house that has sort of been stacked up on there. And you can see that she's kind of looking around, and the Baron's banner that was hanging there is sort of burnt or has been torn down and sort of laying across the beginning of the stuff for the Festival of the Blazing Sun. And you can see part of it's burnt all around the edges. And you can see as she does and steps up there, the timbers move a little bit, and you can see some sparks that come off it from that, just sort of smoldering, and a little bit of smoke kind of wafts around that's there. And you can see that she's got this long sort of black dress, and as she gets up there, she sort of has a black sort of veil that she kind of puts up over her head that covers her hair. So now there's this black sort of veil that's there that sort of encases her hair. And she kind of turns, and as she does, you can see the cold breeze kind of blows the veil a little bit. She sort of puts her hands out to sort of calm the crowd for a second, and you hear her voice. It's steady, but it seems to carry sort of this surprising strength. She says, "Thank you, Baron Vallaki, wherever the Morning Lord's light may find you, for your service in these difficult years. You have kept Vallaki standing through the storms, wolves, and worse. But all things in Barovia change. The world demands a steadier hand and guide that change. Today, I, Lady Wagner, take up that burden." She kind of pauses, and you can hear the crowd sort of talks, sort of murmuring throughout the crowd. She sort of looks around. "My friends, my fellow Vallakians, we have all felt tremors of the night past. The fire claimed a home, and lives have been lost. And though we may not speak his name aloud, we all know what stalks at the edge of every flame and shadow in this valley." You can hear sort of a ripple of uneasy sort of murmuring and people sort of saying the Morning Lord, and just kind of goes across the crowd, and quickly it sort of stops just as the same, almost like a wave as it goes around as everybody looks. She says, "Chaos is the devil's harvest. When fear reigns, he grows stronger." She puts a fist up. "But when we fight together, when we fight one another, he smiles." Her other fist. She then sort of folds her hands before her, almost in a motion of like prayer, but even as sort of a command out to the group. She says, "Change, though painful, need not destroy us. It can temper us, as the forge tempers steel, if we accept a world as it is, not as we wish it to be. It is neither blind defiance nor craven surrender that will lead Vallaki to peace, but respect, homage, and duty." I love it. Respect the powers that shape our hand. Homage to the laws and the faiths that keep us whole. And duty to one another. As she does, she smiles and looks. Please.
She said duty.
She sort of looks, and she says, "Now, I will end the meaningless festivals that have mocked our suffering. There will be no more forced laughter, no empty parades under false suns, only observances of holy days, days that remind us who we are, and the gods that will still listen through the mists. Let Vallaki stand, as it always has, proud, watchful, and alive." You can hear her tone is really sort of soft, and she almost sounds motherly, right? And she says, "We will not challenge the night with foolish torches, nor will we grovel before it. We'll endure it together till true dawn returns." She takes her gloved hand, raises it towards the sky. "May Vallaki find sanctuary in the mercy of the mists. May we find strength, not in festivals, but in faith, not in a denial, but in understanding. And may every home that still stands this morning stand strong for those that fell." The fire is done. The fear is not. But as long as we draw breath, Vallaki endures. And so do we. And as she says that, she sort of bends her head down in prayer, slightly as if she's praying. As she does, you see the guards begin to lower their spears that they have. They bend down on one knee. The townfolk also all bend their heads down, all whispering some prayer.
I turn to the raven.
The raven, you see, is intently staring at the center of the square.
Do you believe how much of that is true?
The raven looks to you and says, "I don't know. I only collect information. I have to go." And all of a sudden quickly takes off, and you can hear, as that happens, the raven cries out. You hear a loud sort of caw from the raven as he flaps his wings off to the west.
Can I
Just then-
tell where
Yeah,
he's
go ahead.
going? Does it look like he's flying out of
Ah.
town?
No, it looks like he's, well, it's hard to say. He's flying northwest, I should say. So he is flying, if you're looking at the map, takes off and goes in. Just then, as the raven caws, it almost breaks some people out of their prayer, and you sort of hear a hesitant clap. And as you do, you start to hear more clapping that goes on. Some people stare off in silence, just sort of stunned. You can see other people sort of clapping. You see most of the guards have bent a knee.
This is a good thing, right?
Well, they're pretty words, and she seems to be earnest. But they were well-chosen words, like a good politician.
Just then, as she says her final words, they sort of fade off, right? Like a prayer that's sort of half finished. You can hear the crowd sort of stops clapping, and there's some murmur and sound of what sounds like relief. Some people have grief, and a lot of people are uncertain. You hear a child starts to cry in the far side, and someone sort of coughs, and the guards sort of kind of stand there unsure whether to bow or disperse or just stand there at attention. It's hard to say. And you can see as everybody's sort of standing there, sort of not sure what to do, you see the Baron's banners sort of catches wind that's half burnt there and sort of flies down almost symbolically and lands into the brazier and catches on fire.
Uh-oh.
You see another set of ravens, 3 of them, flying from the other side of the town square or circle, and you see them also fly overhead very quickly, cawing as they do, heading towards the same direction as the other one.
What direction? What were they headed again?
Northwest.
Northwest. Okay. Okay.
Well, how do you guys react? What do you do?
I think with the Northwest and the ravens cawing and such, like, Lullaby, do you think that they're telling us to go? Is that the direction of the inn?
Yeah, I think so.
Should we head back there right now?
Yeah, I think we could slip away.
I'm gonna try to, like, slip away without making much of a scene. Try to, like, make it look normal, kind of. No, nothing to see here.
Okay. The rest of you?
Oh, I'm going.
I'm
with her.
going.
Okay. So as you guys
I'll go.
as you start to make your way, you can see that the crowd is also starting to sort of disperse a little bit here. but you can still feel sort of the tensions that are there. And as that happens, you hear the sound of a carriage coming in from the northeast, and with horses. And you see it pulls into the center, and as it does, as you guys are leaving, you kind of look back, and you can see Lady Wagner with her black veil fluttering in the wind enters this black carriage that's there. And as she does, she says, she just kind of stands there and she says, "Remember, my friends, the mist forgive only those who stop running from them." And as she does, strangely, church bells toll off into the distance, almost ironically. So as you guys make your way down the street, you see some of the crowd. Do you stay at the same speed? You guys move fairly quickly up front of the crowd, stick with the crowd?
I mean,
I go as fast as Pip goes, or Lil.
Okay. All right.
And I'm sure Rip is right out in front.
I'm making haste. Like I try to kind of like not bring any tension myself, but as soon as I was out of sight, I'm like making haste.
Okay. So as you continue to make your way, the people that are walking, most of them aren't talking. They're pretty quiet as they're walking with you. Clearly, you're walking much faster. You make your way down the street and then end up at the Blue Water Inn or close to it, right? So as you do, you can see that the Blue Water Inn is there. As you're kind of walking forward, you also see that the Martinovs also are kind of coming from an opposite street, kind of around the corner here. Looks like they maybe were on the other side of the town square and had maybe left a little early. And you can see them walking towards the door as well. They don't see you as you're moving, but they start to walk towards the front door and open it as they're entering in. He holds the door for his wife. You guys get there just as he starts to turn to walk in the door.
Thank goodness we got here early with.
Erwin looks back as you say that, as he's almost inside, and he looks and his eyes go wide. And he says quietly as he looks back and forth, "You came. Good. Quick, come in before someone sees."
I kind of look around. Is there anyone noticing as I walk in?
Well, you see there's crowds around, right? And obviously your brothers are there, and sister, but you can see crowds moving. So there's a lot of people that are kind of walking. You can give me a perception check and see if you notice anybody looking for you. You don't see anybody specifically looking for you this second.
Okay. I'm gonna slip in.
Okay. So as you enter in to the Blue Water Inn, he quickly closes the door behind you, and as he does, he locks the door.
Oh God.
Oh, what's going on here?
As you walk in, you see the tap room is still. There's nobody in here. The laughter, the warmth, the smell of that roasted grain is gone. You do see there's some just a kind of a layer of smoke that's coming from the candles that are there that you see kind of wisping up. He says, "Quickly, follow me." And you see Danica's already moved through the kitchen, so he brings you behind the bar, and you go into the kitchen. And as he does, he brings you through another door, which brings you behind the wine cellar and the casks that's there. And as he does that, he brings you through yet another door. And as he does, he brings you out into the stables or the loft. He indicates to the ladder leading up. He says, "Please, up the ladder. Quickly, we don't have time."
Oh, I'll scramble up the ladder,
Yeah.
I guess.
So as you scramble up, you enter into the loft, and you see that the room is sort of cramped but orderly in a sense. And as you do that, you see that there's a small kettle that's sort of steaming over a small brazier in the corner, kind of a travel brazier. And you can see that Danica has kind of got up and she's sitting next to a window that's there. And there is a female standing here. You can see that she's standing up against the wall, shorter in nature, jet black hair. She has what you would expect, almost like a I don't want to say thief isn't the right word, but she has on clothes that look like she's an adventurer of sorts. I haven't. And she's sort of leaning up against the wall that's there. And Erwin says, please, sit down.
I'm gonna follow all of his instructions.
He said, so it's true.
What?
I didn't think it was true, but it's true. You, Morning Lord, protects you and preserves you. I heard the house had burnt down. Thank God you weren't hurt. I was worried.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was very fortunate that we survived.
Word spreads faster this town, and I had heard that the house had burnt, and I wondered if it was something maybe that you guys were involved with. You don't have to tell me. I don't need to know. He looks over to Danica. We just were worried something had happened to you. We didn't see you last night. You didn't return back to your rooms. Are you okay?
Yes, we stayed at the church with Ireena.
I hope you've been keeping your head down. You know, you've heard Lady Wagner has taken over the town.
We were just there.
Yeah.
God, and Wagner's dogs didn't find you?
No.
They've been looking for, quote, traitors, outsiders that set the blaze to the house. I was afraid they would think it was you. There's not many outsiders in town right now.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Well, she invited us back to her house just before this all went down in the town square. We were just at her house and she didn't seem to have any ill will towards us.
He looks slowly over at Danica, and Danica looks back to him, and you can see some concern on their face, almost worry. Oh, I was going to say this just to stay clear of the Wachter house, but it's too late for that. Damn it, I should have found you earlier.
Why?
That woman smiles with her lips. Her heart is colder than any of the mists around. She should not be trusted. Well, I'm not sure if you were there or not, but if you were, I want to let you that the boy is safe. He wasn't affected by the fire. He's gone, but nobody's seen him since. No one knows where he went. Maybe that's for the best. Keep our eyes out for him. He's without a parent now. Word is his mom was taken into the stockade. Sure was Lady Wagner's work.
The boy was taken to the stockade?
Oh, his mother. Sorry if I said it wrong. His mother was taken to the stockade.
Okay.
The Baroness. I don't think it's safe to stay in your rooms. This is safe up here. Nobody would ever expect you up here. There's a back door to our place. You can use that to get in if you need to.
Thank you.
Don't recommend coming through the front door anymore. Danica looks and she says, you're going to scare them. They should be scared. They should be scared.
You've been in this town. I mean, this is your town. But Do you think that she is really going to do the things that you've said? I mean, I may not be the best judge of people, but she said that and showed us proof that her family is not tied to Strahd.
Yeah,
may-
some sort of Leo Dolus.
I'm not saying she's tied with Strahd. I'm just saying that sometimes you may not be with the devil, but you may be as bad as the devil in a different way. See the lady that's standing there, kind of with the oh, Trevor. She kind of continues to look at you all. She goes,
Who are you?
She's got her arms crossed and she sort of looks to you and she says, "Don't worry. I saw the smoke from the rooftops, but I didn't expect to see you walk out of there alive. It's an interesting trick coming out of the window like that. I thought your jumping was excellent. I lost you through the streets, though. I couldn't remember where you went. That either makes you lucky, stubborn, or chosen. I haven't decided which."
Smart, too.
She smiles. "Indeed. But how smart is to be seen."
I'm so sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I think you did. You just don't remember. Just call me Blue.
Blue?
Yes, see the blue streak in my hair? Blue.
Well, that's a very interesting name.
Why do you say that?
Well, I had another friend by that name.
2 friends by the name of Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Never met another Blue.
Me either, up until meeting you.
Well, fascinating.
I think it's the same blue.
Wait, what? I'm gonna do one of the signs that Blue had told us to do.
Okay.
Is there any reaction?
0.
Um,
She says, is that a twitch you've got over there? What is that?
Lillaby,
What?
is that blue?
The raven?
Yeah.
He
I
says,
just reach out and touch her or his head.
It's a her.
Feeling a little off?
Oh, TV it is, yeah, Pips. She goes, there's no ravens here. They do perch up here from time to time. I'm not sure. You must... Did he get hit in the head?
Many times.
Hmm.
But I know a little bit about shifting into, other animals. So my brothers here think that you may have, we've met a raven named Blue.
Huh. Really? I'd love to meet this raven. Maybe you could be my pet, sit on my shoulder. Keep me safe. It's a good omen, you know.
So you're not the Raven Blue. And I
Nah.
just give Pip a look.
I would love to be able to switch into a bird and fly. That would be wonderful. That being said, I can leap from rooftop to rooftop and quite stealthily, I may add. I'm pretty surprised you could hide from me. Usually I can track just about anything.
Well, we have many skills.
Indeed.
Well, that is awful. But I meant to hit the tower and
That's all
missed
good.
it, I
No
guess,
worries.
by
That's
a
all right.
long shot.
I think you probably already know what I'm going to answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look back at the innkeeper.
Yeah, Erwin
Erwin, yes, thank you.
says, I can't protect you outright, not without drawing eyes. But I can make sure you've got some beds up here. Warm food. You don't have to worry. I will give this free of charge. He looks back to Danica. Danica says, yes. If anybody deserves it, it's you. I know you have good in your heart. I can feel it.
Do you recognize a Lavina name?
She says, no, I don't.
Or a house Dilisnia?
No, that doesn't sound familiar either. How about for you, Erwin? He says, no. You see the lady that's there, Blue, just kind of leans against the wall and continues to eye each of you, not menacingly, just sort of taking you all in. Erwin says, oh, where's Ireena?
At the church.
Good, good. She should stay in the church, as long as it holds. That girl's shadows draws things even the wolves won't follow. I assume Father Lucian's there as well?
Yes.
Kind of grimaces for a second and frowns. He'll stand firm, but I don't think the guards will let him preach tomorrow. Keep an ear on the bells. They stop ringing. You need to go give him support. Tomorrow's an important day.
Yeah. Is it that special day of... I've written
Oh yeah, I
down-
forgot to advance the calendar. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah. Gosh. And I kind of like murmur under my breath, ancient foe of an old noble house.
Everybody give me perception checks. As you say that, the room is quiet. Where are you planning on going now? What is your plan for the rest of the day?
Well, we're spinning our wheels right now. We're trying to figure out the next course of action while keeping Ireena safe, but also trying to figure out any possible way to stop the devil, Strahd.
Has anybody given you any guidance? Maybe someone has offered some insight to help you.
Well, some ancient knowledge that we're seeking, and the guidance we were given was something along the lines of this ancient foe of an old noble house. And,
I-
Lady Wagner had some interesting thoughts about that. But
I know-
it didn't seem those names you recognized.
I know nothing about that. Never heard that side of saying before.
I mean, it's probably not going to be great, but...
I gotcha.
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to stew on it a little longer to see if we can't,
Well, my advice is if things ever go bad and you're in the city of Vallaki, don't run for the gates. The mists aren't going to let you. Find us instead. We will help you. He nods over to Danica, and you see Blue kind of still continues to look at you, sort of eyeing you up, trying to figure out exactly what you're all about. Just then you hear sort of a... And you can see on one of the windows here of the loft, you can see a raven that's sitting there and just pecks lightly at the glass. He kind of looks over there and he says, "See? Sometimes help comes from strange places." Kind of walks over, and as he does, he unlatches the window. And as he unlatches it, you see the raven flutters inside, and it flies up into the rafters. And it just sort of sits up there and looks down to you, kind of tilting its head, looking. He says, "Look, see? Even the sky's got eyes today." Just then you hear a small, low croak come from the bird. And as he kind of looks down to you, the bird looks at each of you, kind of turning its head, and it flies back out the window.
Is that the same bird that I spoke to in the...
Ooh, that's a good question. That's going to be probably either an investigation or a nature roll, one of those two.
A good nature.
All right.
Hey, that was the raven that I spoke to in the square, or in the center of town when Lady Wagner was speaking.
Danica said, "Really? He must have taken a liking to you."
Yeah, it was kind of rude. Wouldn't
Raven?
introduce itself to me.
A raven was rude? That's
Yeah,
peculiar.
he said he didn't have time to talk. He needed to listen because he had to... Guess? I don't know what he was doing, but just didn't want to talk to me. Said he had to listen.
Oh, peculiar. Well, maybe he had a lot of work to do. Just then you see Blue sort of stands up and says, "Erwin and Danica, I need to go. I apologize. To my brethren that are here," kind of looks to all of you. "It was a pleasure to meet you.
How do we contact you if we need your help?"
You see Blue smiles just briefly, says, "I think Erwin and Danica know how to get hold of me. If you need my help, just let me know. But to be honest with you, you'll probably never see me again. I'm just as good, if not better, than you are at hiding. I'll keep an eye on you from time to time. Try not to burn any more houses."
No promises.
With that, you see that Blue deftly sort of jumps over to the from the railing over to the ladder, slides down with both hands like a fire person would, down into the bottom of the thing, and just sort of whips the cape around and says, "Toodaloo," kind of walks out the door. Erwin goes, "Always the one for the flare." Always the one for the flare.
Such a coincidence.
The world is full of coincidences. Some of them have meaning, some of them don't. The hard part is knowing which ones do. We will leave you to your time here to talk and decide where to go next. Danica, I will bring up some food for them if you don't mind helping me prepare it. She said, of course. And as she does, she kind of points over to the kettle and says, please, it's not wine or any sort of libation, but it will keep you warm. There's a definite chill in the air today. If you need anything, please come on down. But again, be cautious in your movements.
Thank you.
See, he kind of makes his way down the ladder, and shortly after Danica does too. And as they do, you can hear the sounds of them sort of talking to themselves. Pretty quiet to make out any words, but you can tell the tone is definitely of maybe worry, maybe purpose, something. All right, so it's pretty much mid-morning, getting to late morning, I guess would be the time. You guys are in the loft of the Blue Water Inn. What do you like to do?
I don't know what we're supposed to do, because Lady Wagner seemed to be pretty okay with us, but
I guess I'm still trying to make heads or tails of what she said to us about, like, when she read that book. She read that passage. Like, what hint was that for us? You know, because that was our first card in our reading, you know? So what was that trying to lead us towards?
what do you mean that was our first card?
Card 1 was knowledge, our first revealed card from our reading, from our tarot card reading from Madame Ava.
So I don't know how your notes are, but if just as a hint back, because I know it was a while ago, if you remember, she said something first, and then she flipped the card.
Yes. She said something like an ancient... Was that where she said an ancient foe of a... I'm pulling up my picture and my notes from that.
All I remember said traitor, guard staring at a priest, knowledge of ancient power, ancient foe of an ancient house, lost soul will lead us to him. That's all I have on the subject.
We need to find this Leo de Silnia.
It was something about, like, knowledge of an ancient power. The first card, it was like some knowledge of an ancient power, and then she flipped it over and she said it was a traitor card, described what it looked like, and then said an ancient foe of an old noble house will lead you here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I just said.
Yes, yep. I guess I'm just repeating it to try to make sense of it. Do we think, like, Lady Bachner has this knowledge that we need to seek, or is it...
Now, I can't quite, I mean, this is out of character. I don't have it written down, but didn't we meet somebody on a bridge that let us pass? And I don't know why Reinhold keeps sticking in my brain because of that.
Bridge was Godfried Gilwind,
Oh, okay.
the westward keep of Argynvossholt or something. Order of the Silver Dragon. Beware the wolf.
Okay, so, alright, that's not it then.
So that might be something else that we should look into later. But I don't think it relates to this.
Yeah, I agree. So, I don't know what to do. The, Marnikovs seem to think that Lady Faulkner will have it out for us, and her goons, according to them, will, or, are looking for us.
Well,
Gosh.
Lady Wachter said that her house is the traitor's house, right?
That's what she alluded to.
And Leo said led the uprising against them. So he's the ancient enemy of the Wachter house.
So Tatiana and Sergei
Are dead.
are dead, but they were married. Then Sergei was found dead. Tatiana was supposedly killed herself in despair. Lord von Zarevich, is that a treacherous uprising against Lord von Zarevich? Is that Strahd or Sergei? Probably Strahd. Abetted by a score of castle guards. When I sought to mediate, and when she says I, is she reading it from this person's journal, or is
That's from Livonia's standpoint.
From Livonia's standpoint. Okay.
Leo's the one who grabbed the guards and led the revolt.
Yeah. Interesting.
Von Zarevich is Strahd, right?
Yeah. Leo is really it's just a lot of different names and a lot of lore that I can't quite piece together. I think I'm just getting very confused. But it is a confusing and mysterious, scary land that we found ourselves in, and maybe it seemed like the Wagner house is an ancient, or is an old noble house. Is there a Delisnia home in this city? Like an old, maybe they're not there anymore, but
Here, let's take a look at the book. Maybe there's something in the genealogy charts.
Fozzie lifted the book. That's right. I forgot. Five Finger Fozzie over there. So Fozzie, as you continue to page through, you can see that there's definitely discussions of the genealogy kind of moving through, and this person is with that, of this house, and etc. But you don't see anything that speaks discreetly of any sort of addresses of homes are in this city versus Barovia. So it's difficult to to delineate whether their house is still here or not. You can sort of surmise that it may be Vallaki that had the house, but it could have been Barovia too, or even Kresk.
Barovia is the whole place, right?
There's the village of Barovia as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
Well, let's ask Erwin. Is that his name?
Well, when I asked
Erwin
Erwin,
and Danica?
they didn't seem to recognize the names because I had asked about
Correct.
Leo Delisnia or the Delisnia house or Lavina, and they seemed to indicate they didn't recognize those names. Unless I'm misremembering.
Does the town have a... There's a town hall, right?
Not really. Seems like the business goes through the house. So, yes, you burned down the town hall.
Perfect.
In the library.
Maybe the guy at the church knows. I mean, babies get born, you know. Usually the guy at the church knows about it.
Yeah. Do magic books actually burn in a fire, or is it true that they don't?
I don't know.
Because we could investigate the ashes if there's any thought that there might be some protective wards on them, but
Sure, let's go traipse through the ashes.
I don't know if that's the right call, but just grasping at straws if there was a book we needed in that library that burned down. Lilliby, you mentioned there was a book in the possession of the son that escaped?
Yeah, he made a big deal about not leaving, even though the house was on fire, until he got his I guess it was his spell book.
Spellbook. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, we can try the ashes.
Mention of the Baroness and the stockades. I don't know if she would really be interested in talking to us, though. She might know or have an idea of where her son went off to if we try to plead a case of trying to protect
Well,
him.
we don't even know if that is true. I mean, Lady Wagner has treated us... I mean, she's a little creepy, but they said that, you know, they're looking for us. The Mardikovs said that, but I don't know who to believe.
Hmm. Do we return to the scene of the crime?
I don't know if we should do that in the middle of the day. But if we want to, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Or that we have to leave the city in haste.
How much investigating have we really done at the Wachter house? I mean, we've been invited twice. I was so tempted to stay and, like, look around a little bit, you know? Poke my head around in places I probably shouldn't. Gosh, I really don't know where to go or what to do next.
So do you have anything that's outstanding to do? I mean, if you guys don't have any clear direction to go, I'm just asking because there may be some loose ends you could tie up.
Well, we definitely didn't save Uda. So, Wilhelmina's lost son is definitely lost. We've got Arabella, Arabella, who is still missing. I feel like the Godfred Gilwyn Westward Keep quest is not necessarily like that'd be a whole new thing, or it feels like it would be a whole new thing.
Oh, interesting. Fozzie, you said you were going through the genealogy of that book.
Yes.
So as you're going through, I apologize, didn't see this before. I just had to look it up because that book usually isn't lifted. So I wanted to see. So as you were going through, you saw there's tome of births and deaths that are there, but you come across this. I'll copy and give it to you. I'm sure you're probably going to share it, but I'll at least give it to you first.
It appears, due to this book, Ireena Strahd. Yeah, there. I share all that. Well, that could be an error, or it could be that they faked it. Somebody. So
Well,
she's about 22
Ireena
years
was
old.
adopted, right?
Yep.
So maybe she didn't die?
How is she related to the Wachters? Like, is there a chart on that?
I
So
don't think she is, right?
yeah, she's not. But this is sort of just some genealogy of other houses within the city of Vallaki. So it's not just the Wachters. It's got a whole bunch of other charts and things.
So it confirms that Isaac was her older brother.
From a book from the Wachter house, yeah.
Who wrote, or does it have an author for this
No.
section?
It doesn't have any markings on it to indicate who wrote what in the genealogy section. And you can see the handwriting is different kind of throughout the book, almost as if someone keeps adding to it as it occurs.
What does this book look like?
So it's a thin book that you have. The writing is very small and, sort of condensed through it. It's not one that has a lot of sort of words and things in it. And it's, let me see here. I apologize. I need to find the book cover again. It is a thin, worn volume on the upper shelf, titled "The Noble House of Wagner," written by Lovina Wachter.
Or at least started by her.
Started by Lovina. Yep.
And the passage, and correct me if my reading comprehension is way off because a lot of the
Nope.
names throw me off, but the passage that she shared with us indicated there was a Leo that revolted against Lord Strahd,
Correct.
of which Lavina tried to mediate this, and to me would indicate Leo and her had a falling out in which Leo said that she betrays him. Like, Leo
Correct.
was upset with Lavina. So Lavina didn't necessarily betray Strahd. Lavina, in Leo's opinion, betrayed Leo.
Betrayed his family somehow.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that was the Wachters or if that was just the Dilsnians.
Yeah. So I think sorry if you guys can hear my cat.
Oh, good.
She's
Let's
very-
go to the church and see if we can find anything out about this Dilsnia family.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys make your way down.
Yeah.
Head to the church. All right. So as you make your way through the church, unless you say otherwise, I assume you're walking at a normal sort of posture.
Yep.
So as you come out, you see that the rain now has started to fall from the storm that you could see off to the edge of the area off to the east, and so as the rain comes down, it's that cold, wet rain with a slight chill in the wind as well. And to pull it up, but it just kind of is soaking sort of rain. You make your way down the street. As you do, you can see most people are inside or moving very quickly from whatever building they're going to. And you can feel the water sort of slosh against the cobblestone as you step each one in the small puddles that have sort of formed in the rain that's there. You make your way towards the church, and as you do, Willoughby, you can see Luna is still sitting up in the bell tower, looking out as you're coming. The doors, you notice, are closed, and some people are just leaving the church. What looks like maybe a midday sort of prayer or something that had occurred as they're walking out. As you enter into the church, you can see that Ireena is sitting there in the front pew reading out of a what looks like a Morning Lord sort of book, taking it in very intently. You can see Father Lucian is in the front talking to Wilmina and sort of giving her a consoling hug as she's there. As you can see, she's crying and sobbing. You hear him say, there. I understand your loss. It's okay. It's in the Morning Lord's arms now.
I'm so sorry.
Just sort of sobs and shudders as her head's buried into his shoulder. He sort of pats her back and empathetically holds her.
Gosh, I feel so guilty.
As you guys continue to wait, you see that she sort of lifts up and she says, "Thank you, Father. Thank you. Udo was a good boy. He didn't deserve it. I don't understand. Behead somebody." Just shakes her head back and forth. He says, "I know. Try not to think of him that way. Think of him as the boy that he was when he was with you." Nods. She turns and she sees all of you standing there. What do you do?
I just apologize that we couldn't. Sorry, we couldn't save him.
No. If you had found him, you would have kept him safe. That's who you are, I can tell. the ones who
Would've-
protect people.
Tried to. Definitely with a lot of trying.
Sure, you would have laid down your life for him. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. She
Yep.
slowly walks out of the church. Father Lucian says, all that woman has. Oh, it's true. Lady Wagner is now the Baroness. Please, come in. You look wet. Must have started raining quite a bit.
Yeah. We had some questions for you. Wondering if you can help us out in trying to figure out a name of something to look into.
Okay.
We're seeking an ancient foe of an old noble house.
Okay.
Do you know anything about... And then I'll look around and see if anyone's paying attention to the conversation.
It's pretty much just you guys in there now with him. She was the last one to leave. It seemed that her grief had probably pushed most of the people out.
I'll ask about a Leo. Leo Delisnia. Reinhold. If any of those names are familiar to him.
He says, the name sounds familiar from the lore and the history way back when. I don't know if I have anything specific to answer to that. You're asking me if I know anybody alive today with that name? No, I don't.
Did they live in Vallaki? Do you know where they lived? Where their holdings were?
I feel like there's some memory of them living in Vallaki, but I can't be for sure. Again, this was a long time ago. History that hasn't been spoken in quite some time.
Is there any place where we might seek some of this knowledge that you're aware of, other than an already burned down building?
Well, yes, but I don't recommend going.
And where would that be?
Castle Ravenloft.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe not.
I mean, the Baron had a lot of history books, but that is clearly not available. The Wachter House, maybe? They may have something in their libraries. Those are the two houses that have sort of stood the longest here. Well, used to stand the longest.
I don't know, guys. Do we wait till nighttime? Search through the ashes? Or wait through nighttime and go to the Wachter house and try to snoop?
Well, it's. I guess we got to search through the ashes and see what we can find, and then, because that's the easier thing to do. You know, breaking into the Wachter house might be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just kind of walked in there today. The door was open.
It's true. I almost get the impression that Lady Wachter is an ally out of necessity and has been kind of hinting that, like, she's an ally with Strahd, but an unexcited one. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like, I do this for self-preservation, not necessarily because I enjoy it. Just like some of the ways she was talking to us, you know?
Yeah.
And it makes you think like she's trying to help us without actually, like, overtly helping us.
Well, that's why I say I'm confused over who to believe. The Mardikovs, who have seemed very nice and have been very nice the entire time that we've stayed at their inn, or this very strict lady who, I mean, she sounds like any politician in any big city we've ever been in, right? So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Go ahead and search through the rubble, like you said, and then maybe, you know, if we don't find what we need, maybe go back over to the Wagner house.
Okay.
Sounds like a place to start anyways.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you, Father Lucian.
You're welcome. Be safe out there. It may seem like there's order, but I worry. The city does not feel to be completely under the same leadership as it was with the Baron, at least not. Power, I don't think, is fully consolidated. Be cautious. This whole time, Ireena has had her nose buried in a book, completely oblivious to you all being there.
What book is she reading?
It looks like a book about the Morning Lord. All right, so early afternoon now at this point with the travels that you've had. Are you heading right over to kind of start digging through the ruins?
I think we were discussing potentially waiting for a little bit of nighttime, maybe, just to...
Well, we know it gets dark at 2 in the afternoon.
True. Sorry, I'm gonna close my door because my cat's meowing very loud.
Yeah, no
at the
problem.
moment.
All right, so as you guys start down the street, you can see again that most of the people are inside or whatnot as the rain continues to come down. You clearly see no smoke at this point. There's no burning fire anymore off into the distance. As you get closer, you see that I'm assuming you guys are going to the house now, so that's why I'm going that way, unless you're going to tell me otherwise. So as you start to get closer, you can see that the shell of the house is there. The walls are still standing, but clearly the entire roof and attic is collapsed inward. You can see large piles of rubble where the first floor walls, some of them still stand. However, there's obviously things that have burned all throughout. The house is pretty much a complete loss, except for the outside walls. You do see it does have a stone sort of wall that encloses the whole area, as well as a kind of a lawn area or a private sort of spot that they have. There are two guards that are standing at the gate that enters in, but you notice that they have their shield and they're trying to use it to shield the rain, and they're sort of cuddled up against the wall itself, kind of facing each other, sort of squatting down, and you can hear one of them say, "God, this rain is awful. Wish I didn't have this post." The other one says, "It's fine. Somebody has to make sure that everything stays the same." They don't seem to notice you.
I'm gonna let's see.
One of them says, "I don't understand why they just don't seal it off. Put up a bigger wall." He's like, "No wall's tall enough to hold everybody out. You know that."
In the opposite, this has only got 10 feet of range. How close are we to them, and have they noticed us yet?
They haven't noticed you yet. I would say, just to kind of start, you're probably about 30 feet away or so.
Okay. Hey guys, do you want me to try to do a little bit of like a sensory effect distraction, and then hopefully maybe get them to investigate elsewhere so they don't notice us? Or
Yeah, see if you can do that.
So I'm gonna try to like hide and kind of like sneak a little closer.
Okay. Stealth check. All right. So you get a little bit closer and kind of hiding along. You see Pip sort of making his way along one of the walls, sort of trying to sit up against it. They continue to sort of pay no attention.
And then kind of in the opposite direction, like if I can make it kind of angled down and like so it looks like it's down like an alley or like just around the corner, knowing that I only have about 10 feet of range. It's like a little shower of sparks or like something that sounds like glass breaking down that aisle in a different direction.
Gotcha. So you guys hear the sound of what sounds like some glass breaking, and you hear two of them say, "Did you hear that?" I was like, "Yeah." You see they sort of stand up with the shields over their head, and he goes, "God, I hate the rain." He brings the shield down. You can see immediately like shrugs up his shoulders and tries to crouch down as much into his clothes as possible as he's got the shield and his spear, and he says, "I'll take a look." The other one says, "Oh, you can't go by yourself." You see they start to walk towards the sound.
I'm gonna point at Lillaby and cast Whisper. I think we're all clear. Be careful. Or message, I should say.
I'm going to try to be sneaky.
All right. Stealth roll, please. Everybody else is being sneaky. I need stealth from everybody else. Man, nice dice roll. Yeah, nice work, everybody. All right, so you all are able to sort of make your way. You can see the guards kind of moving over there, and you can hear them saying, "Probably just a cat. Could be a dog, too." They continue to kind of walk over, looking in the house across the street and kind of walking around the corner of it. Like, maybe we can get some shade from the rain here. Walk. You guys head in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna head in.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if anyone else is, but I was planning on it.
As you go through, Pip, you open up the gate, and as the gate opens, you hear just a small creak, one that just gives you pause for just a second. You look over, and nobody's coming, so you're able to continue to open it without it creaking, and you're able to get through the gate. Same with you, Fozzie, and I assume the rest as well. As you get
Yep.
through, you see the burned remnants that I talked about. There's no real smoke coming up. Everything is kind of wet and black. There are mounds of burnt wood and furniture and everything that are sort of stacked, almost like sand dunes, where you can see kind of part of it, and then it looks like in the center it sort of dips down, and then you can see another sort of high bank of burnt debris on the other side. There's pieces of broken furniture. There's glass. You can see, you know, parts of the ceilings and walls are there. Various sort of burnt sort of positions that they're in.
What floor was the library on?
Second.
The ground floor now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
now
everything's
it's
on the
all
ground
on the
floor. Yeah, good call, Littleby.
I'm gonna head to where the library was and
It's like
see if I can find anything.
The center of the building, though, right?
Yeah. So as you make your way, there's a large sort of mound of debris that's there. To get through the front part, you can see the broken stairway is kind of dangling down. The one that went up to the second floor, there was a landing. That's now down, so you could literally walk up and then down the landing. Just take you there. As you kind of climb up, you hear the sound of crunch of glass on the other side of the mound that you're standing on. Crunch, crunch. Almost as if somebody stepped on glass.
I'm gonna point my finger at the general direction of the noise. Assume I don't know. I think I have to know they're there if I cast message.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, never mind. I can't do that. I have to be familiar with the target, which I am not. Do I see anyone? Just here.
So as you peek over, you see what looks like a person covered in soot, kind of pushing along glass and pieces of wood. You can see the boots are kind of covered as well, and the fingers are all sort of dirt covered and soot covered, and kind of push something out, and the face is sort of streaked with what looks like soot. You can see what looks like almost tear marks that have dripped down through the soot. You hear a person say, don't touch that. That's not for you. As if talking to someone. He's like, it's these pages. All I have left. Yes, it's the book. Oh, the book of ethereal entities. It was here. But it helped me bring her back. Or at least set her free. You see kind of looking through, and he's kind of pulling some pages and looking through it and throwing it over to the side and grabbing another book. You can see that the books here in the library section appear that a lot of them have been burnt, but there's some that have some pieces that are left. He's kind of looking around. He's like, I know it's here someplace.
Hello? Are you?
As you say that, you see he immediately glances up and he looks to you. He looks probably as a teenager, maybe a late teenager age. His eyes are rimmed all red, and you can see that there are definitely tear streaks that are across his face. And he says, "Oh, hello. My father's gone. The house is gone. My mom isn't here. My name's Victor."
Victor?
Yeah, Victor. Yours?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my things. But who are you? And why are you here?
Well, we're looking for a book as well.
But this is my house and I've never seen you before.
We were told that this house may have had a library at one point that would have had a book that we were seeking.
You work with the Devil Strahd?
No.
I feel like his shadow's still here somewhere. I just want to make sure there's more than one monster in Barovia. I know that. There's always another waiting. Like Isaac. Good riddance. But somebody will take his place, I'm sure, at some point.
Are you okay?
No. No, I lost my father, and I lost her, too, and I just need to bring her back.
Her? Who's her?
I saw her. Stella. I saw Stella's soul. It was in the mirror. She's real, I'm telling you. She's trapped. She's trapped between worlds. Aramis said that there was a way to cross the threshold, but I need the rest of Mordecai's work. It's somewhere. I know it is. There's a book here. Ethereal Entities. Will you help me look for it?
Is Stella the Wagner daughter?
Of course. Who else would it be?
Is that your girlfriend?
She's my friend. My best friend.
Can you say she's stuck in a mirror?
Yeah, I gotta help her back. I need her back.
Where's this mirror?
Points over to a large pile of rubble. Broken in a million pieces over there. The fire ruined it. Ruined everything. I almost died if it wasn't for someone who saved me.
I'm gonna look back. Mind if we look around in the rubble, and if we see what you're looking for, we'll let you know?
You have others with you? Remember, you had to climb over a hill. I'm not sure if everyone else did.
I'm definitely gonna send a message to maybe Libby.
All right. What do you send a message to her saying?
I found Victor asking if I am alone. He's looking for some pages to save the Vactor girl.
I don't know who that is, but I'll be right there. As you saw, I was casting Detect Magic
Yep, I gotcha.
when she went off so that I could start walking through the rubble.
So as you do, and you walk through, you do get a faint glimpse of abjuration under the pile where you're standing at the front of the house.
Well, whoever's closer, Fozzie or Rip, come over here and help me. Something's magical down here.
Okay.
We'll go over and help.
Okay. So as you guys start to move the rubble and things, you can see that there's appears to be a burnt bed. That's pieces. There's a dresser, but as you move it away, you see what looks like an unbroken mirror. Which seems unheard of considering of all the destruction of everything that's in this pile.
Something magical keeps it safe, I guess.
As you dig it out, you see the mirror is approximately 3 feet. Looked like it used to have some sort of device that would sort of connect each side to keep it sort of standing, so you could kind of bend it and look at it almost like a dressing mirror. But that is all gone. The only thing that's there is a mirror. Lillaby, you see that this does exude. I was talking. This mirror looks very similar to a mirror you've seen before.
Where
Long
at?
time ago.
In the house that
In the first house. There's the same carvings around the edge of the glass.
Interesting. Well, we need to take this with us. It's probably taller than most of us.
It's about your height, yep.
Right.
Go check in the library too. There might be some magical books in there.
So we'll start heading over,
Over
walking in that direction.
Got it, over the hill. All right, so as you kind of make your way up, you can see that Pip is standing there talking to this young gentleman who's covered in soot, and they're having this sort of discussion as he's frantically looking around and picking up broken books and everything that's there, and burnt books, I should say. As you do, he kind of looks in your general direction as he hears you coming across. And he goes, oh, my mirror! You found my mirror! And you can see he kind of starts running up. He's like, thank you so much. Oh, I am so... And then he looks and he says, you! I know you. You saved my life.
Oh, you're the boy in the attic. Yes, yes.
I'm Victor. Victor Vallaki. What were you doing in my house?
Oh, we came to speak to your father.
Father's dead. My mom is gone. It's just me now. Just me now. He looks down, and as he does, you can see two fresh tears kind of pour down the face, moving the soot. Kind of plays with his thumbs, the nails kind of all chewed off already, but bitten down from nervousness. He still has nails. Just kind
How
of
old does he look?
Oh, probably 16, 17.
I see.
Yeah. Just kind of continues to move his fingers back and forth. Like, thank you for finding my mirror. Thought it was broken for sure. Really helped me. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I can tell that it's magical, but what's so special about it?
I can see Stella. I can see Stella through it. She's trapped. She's not alone. Many are trapped, but she's... Anyways, I'm trying to get her out. I need my book. Looks around. Book. You haven't seen a book, have you? Please help me look. Could you?
Sure. We'll look around. We'll help you.
Thank you. He continues to kind of move through the stuff, trying to look for a book. You guys are also looking as well. I assume, Littleby, like we talked about, you're just kind of walking around with tech magic there, sort of trying to find whatever magical books you can find.
Mm-hmm.
So as you continue to go through... Thanks, Fozzie. So Fozzie, you're digging through the books too, taking a look. Fozzie, as you're moving through, most of these books are charred to a crisp, to be honest with you. You remember the fire was sort of stuck into the library throughout most of your battle, so even before the floors had sort of collapsed. Grab up here, I see searching for books as well. And you kind of see the same that's here as you're kind of digging through. It'll be off in the far distance. You do see what appears to be another book that sort of gives off sort of a kind of abjuration as well, I would say, probably, and illusion.
And illusion. Okay. I'll go in that direction since nobody, we're kind of spread out, and start digging down in the rubble to get it.
So as you move it, you see that you find a slim hardback book with a leather cover, and on top you see it's sort of been dyed with this deep midnight blue. Written across the top, it says Ethereal Entities, Denzians of the Unseen Realm. And then it says by Mordenkainen on it. And you can see that the There's just kind of written with a silver script. The title as well as the author. It's on not only the front cover, but it's on the spine as well. And you can see that the corners of the book are adorned with these soft silver filigree, kind of resembling sort of ethereal wisps. Did you pick it up? I assume you pick it up.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay. As you kind of pick it up, you can feel that the book is pretty light. It is thin, that you have in your hand.
Oh, Victor, I think I found the book you were looking for.
My book! Oh my gosh! He comes running over. He says, "You found my book! You saved my life and you found my book. I can't believe it." He doesn't even really ask. He just takes the book from you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So glad. It's excellent. I'm so thankful. You have no idea. You're a savior.
Did you say you were gonna try to save her with this book?
Yes, I was. And as he says that, he goes he sits down and crosses his legs and he goes, "Mirka, Mirka, Mirka!" Kind of yells out, kind of in all different sort of directions. "Mirka!"
Who is Mirka?
Oh, it's my cat. You haven't seen a cat, have you?
No.
There
Was
she
it in the
is.
house too?
No, here she comes. You see a white skeletal cat comes climbing over the rubble. Runs down, has all skeleton with a skeletal tail, its legs, and it rubs up against him, sort of curls up as the skeletal tail sort of whips around his wrist. He goes, "Ah, Mirka!" And he pets the skeleton cat's head, and Mirka kind of sits down into his lap. "Oh, thought you were gone. This is my cat, Mirka." He looks at you and smiles.
She could put on a few pounds, huh?
She is thin, I agree. But the good news is she doesn't need to eat anymore.
Mirka help you with how you're going to save your friend?
Well, I have to be honest. First Mirka is dead because Isaac killed my cat. But I was able to bring Mirka back, and now Mirka's with me all the time. And Mirka, I don't have to feed Mirka at all. And it's so nice to have her back. She's such a good cat.
The kid's a necromancer.
Indeed.
I mean,
What's
who
with
kills a
this?
childhood cat? I mean, who does that?
That's messed up.
Kicked it around the room. He was wandering in my house, and Mirko didn't mean anything, and she got in front of him and he kicked it and killed it. So
When you bring this Stella back, is she going to look like this too?
what do you mean?
You know, bony?
Does it matter? He looks at you very matter of fact. Does it matter what they look like? It's what's inside that matters, not their looks.
So I'm looking at this cat.
Yep.
Can I see anything inside?
Nope.
Is there a brain, perhaps?
Nope.
I wave my hand in front of the kid's eyes. I say, "Are you looking at this cat?
Yeah, it's Mirka. It's my cat. And he
What do
reaches
you
down.
see? What do you see inside?"
I see a cat that loves its owner. And you see Mirka wraps its tail around his arm. See? Look at the affection that it gives. Can't you hear it purring? You don't hear any purring.
I don't say no. I don't want to. I don't want to blow the guy's bubble too bad.
I am so appreciative that you have you found my book. I can't tell you how important it is to me, and it's wonderful. I'm anyways, he kind of opens up the book
What
Yeah.
can you tell me about your family history, or do you know anything about the Dilsnias?
No, I don't think I've ever met a Dilsnia. Are they what street do they live on?
Oh, that's what we're trying to.
Round Street?
I don't know. They were there for family from a long time ago. I believe they were related to the Voctors.
Gosh.
Well,
What is in that book? I'm very curious.
oh, my book? You want to know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. Please sit down. And he kind of pats the soot, and as he does, you see like black flies everywhere. Have a seat. He says, so this book is all about how to reach out to the ethereal plane and all the creatures that dwell within or visit it. And he starts paging through, and he says, so there's excellent sections. So we have 3 parts. And this part, it talks about the natives of the deep ethereal. And I got to tell you, it contains information about all the creatures that live just in the ethereal. And you know, the mist fiends and the elder shades and the slimmerlings. It's fascinating. I got to tell you. And then this section here, this is the phantom folk, the travelers of the border ethereal. This contains information about all the incorporeal creatures that live within the border of the ethereal. And they sometimes cross into our plane, and then they sometimes cross out, like ghosts, phantom warriors. So I this is a great section. I love it. And then we have the Veil Walkers. And those are the people who visit the ethereal. Someday I'll be able to do that, I hope. But it contains information about mystic, physical creatures that can cross into the ethereal plane, such as like night hags and phase spiders, which I'm going to tell you what, they are definitely in this plane. There's no doubt about it. If you ever come across a phase spider, I'm just going to let you know. I mean, I've researched them quite a bit. They are immune to a lot of stuff. And you can't hurt them with the weapons you've got. You've got to use big time power stuff. You need somebody like me. Somebody with spells. Somebody who can really get to them. So, I just want to let you know that. And then night hags. Ooh, you got to be careful with the night hags, right? They if you can get like their heartstone and you can get the energy of the ley line to replicate, oh man, it can be really, really good. But you have to do it on a full moon, is what I would recommend. So he kind of turns the page and the page is labeled Night Hags, Matrons of Maleficence. He's like, yeah, here, let me, can I read it to you? My favorite part. He's like, sly and subversive, the Night Hags are the epitome of wickedness. They represent all that's evil and cruel in this world. They want nothing more than to see virtuous turns into villainy, love turned into obsession, kindness into hatred, devotion to disregard, and generosity into selflessness. Or selfishness. It's amazing. I think that, the Night Hags, they usually resemble like withered cronies, right? Or people that are like living together in a coven. Usually there's like 2 or 3 of them that are there, and they have magical powers, the ability to alter their form or to curse foes. They can make themselves look like me or you.
Okay, that is very, very interesting. Thank you for that lecture.
But they're arrogant. I mean, they're arrogant to a fault. Please let me tell you more, if you don't mind.
So how does this relate to the mirror?
Oh, the mirror? It doesn't.
Oh, but I thought you said you needed this book to save her while she was trapped in this mirror.
With the Night Hags? She's not a Night Hag.
No, but you said you needed this book in order to save the Wagner girl, and that she was trapped in this mirror.
You do. Who has the mirror, by the way?
I think one of the guys brought it over.
Rip or Fozzie? Who's carrying the mirror?
I'll carry it.
All right. So he's like, yeah, I mean, I can, but I need to, I need extra stuff. I have to read this book to figure it out. I've been working on it. So I'm not sure. Wait a minute. You came here looking for stuff. What are you looking for?
Where looking for any information on ancient houses and lineage. And, you know, anything that might help us on a job we're working.
See, I don't know if I have. Lillaby, are you still looking around?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty, gotcha. And he's like, I don't know about ancient lineages at all. My dad was a spellcaster. Did you know that?
I gathered.
He used to have spell books. I tried to be like Dad. Yeah. You know, there was a spell book my dad had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not a Mordenkainen, but mage named Zahn?
Who?
Zahn?
Hmm.
Anyways. If you're looking for spell books, I mean, there's a wizard's tower that's out in the northwest. I think Kazan built it. But he put a protective field against it to prevent anybody from getting in there. I'd love to go investigate it. What are you guys doing? Do you guys want to go? We should look for more. You found this one. He looks a little bit. You found this book. Maybe we can find more spell books. I could join you. We could be a group of 5. Out by Lake Baratok. You've been there, haven't you?
No.
Please, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it. You want to do it?
Sure.
Excellent. I love it. That sounds great.
We should just put this mirror someplace safe.
No. Yeah, you can't leave it here. Where are you staying? Maybe I can leave it at your place.
Maybe.
You have a house?
Do we go to the Church of St. Andrel and keep it there, you think?
Oh no, we can't leave any of this in a church.
Why?
Somebody will take it.
No,
From
the
a church?
Yes.
Father will protect it.
No. Everybody knows that everything in a church is available to anybody. So if you need something, you could take it. Somebody could walk in and say, I need a mirror. And you'll give them the mirror.
I trust Father Lucian to keep our things separate and safe.
Do you have a bag we could put it in? Just a little one. You know, it slides in and just disappears. No?
No, we don't have anything like that.
We'll have to lug it out of here. But
Yes,
Mm-mm.
If we did, then Lil would certainly have it.
Nope. I think no, we can't give it to Rip because, we'd never hear from anything in there again.
do you
Maybe-
know if your dad had any books about the history of this land?
He had lots. Pretty much the whole library was history. Was.
Anything?
Did he keep any out at this lake house?
Oh, he didn't live there. He never went there. I've never been there. But I want to go. I do. I think that his spellbook would be great. I think it would be really, really helpful for what we are doing. Kazan was very powerful. As powerful as Mordecai, and he had really, really good spells in that book. He also wait. He opens up. He reaches into his pouch that he has, a sack, and he pulls out the book that you saw him take, Lillaby, and he opens it, and you can clearly see this is a spell book. And he kind of flips through. He's like, "Hang on." He's like, "Yeah, right here." Kazan, he once sought the secrets of a power at a temple, and the temple was forged of amber. According to his notes, it was previously guarded by an order of knights, in the service of a dragon.
Oh, yeah. That all sounds like something we're very
You've-
interested in.
You've been there.
We've not been there, but we're interested in being there.
Well, I have bad news.
Hmm.
When the devil Strahd conquered the valley, he slaughtered all of them. None of them live anymore. But there's this temple that he had visited. So he could be there too. Maybe Kazan still lives.
Yeah. The temple that sounds. I kind of look over at Fozzie. That sounds pretty encouraging, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Amber before? Oh, it's beautiful. I've seen drawings and pictures of it, but it looks beautiful. I hope someday I can find a piece of amber. Great to have.
I'm gonna kind of look around because I think I feel like I remember one of our friends having some amber, but I
Don't see any. Yep. He says, "Well, I don't know how to get to Lake Baratok. Do you guys know how to get there?"
not necessarily, but it's nothing that a map can't fix.
I know someone who will. I know somebody who can get us there. We need to find somebody real quick, okay?
Well, why don't we pump the brakes a little bit and let's all decide where we're going next year because it's
We're going to the
rainy up
tower.
there.
We're going to the tower. Lake Baratok. Let me find Zoldar Zovarovich. He's one of the most skilled hunters I've ever met. He will know how to get us there.
What's his name again?
Zoldar Zodalovich. He's got huge muscles, long beard. He's great. Last year, I tried to well, my dad felt that I needed to do some more appropriate hobbies, masculine hobbies. He didn't like me with my nose in my books. Said that it wasn't going to get me anywhere. Magic never helped him, even though he liked to cast magic, and he forced me to accompany him on a hunting trip out in the woods by the Vallaki walls. Oh, it was terrible. I hated it, but I will let you know that his knowledge of the Barovia wilderness is amazing, and he'll keep us safe, and he knows exactly where to go.
I think we've met him before. I think he's staying at the same inn.
Oh,
Or
no.
He frequents that.
He doesn't stay at the inn. He lives out in the woods. He's so strong and so powerful that the wolves of Barovia don't even affect him. He's amazing, and he has a partner too. Yevgeny, maybe, I think. Yeah, Yevgeny, I think is his name.
Don't they drink at the inn we stay at?
What
I
inn do you
think
stay
so.
at?
Gosh,
Did you stay at the Blue Water Inn? Oh, you know Erwin and Danica. Oh, they're the
oh,
best.
yes. That's
They're-
what I'm thinking.
they're
I'm
so
thinking of
nice.
Irwin.
They're great. I love them. They're super nice. And that's place. Do you have the rooms up front, or do you have the rooms on the side, or did you get the nice suite? Which one do you have? I've seen them
We'll
all.
Head over there and see. Yeah. Do
And we can probably leave the mirror there too.
No, you can't leave the mirror here. We just found it.
At the inn.
Is it going to be safe there? People go there all the time.
Well, we have our own room.
Yeah, which one?
We won't tell you that.
I get it. Got to be secretive. I don't have a room either.
We just want to make sure that you're okay because you're very young and out here on your own. So
You're saying I shouldn't go? Yeah, I ate. I had a dream pastry. It was good.
I'm gonna give him one ration of mine.
That's pretty good. Not as good as a dream pastry. Have you ever had one? They're delicious. The best thing ever.
Seems like a promising lead. Did we find the book we were looking for? I'm guessing not. Because I haven't found anything.
Littleby,
I haven't
Oh.
found anything.
I was just going to say, Littleby, as you continue to search, you don't find anything else that's magical in here as you're kind of going through the rubble.
No, all I found was the mirror and the book.
Very good finds. We should probably make ourselves scarce if we don't want to loiter here too much longer.
Okay, so where are we headed? Back to the church or to the inn?
I don't know if the people that he's speaking of are the people I'm thinking, but I feel like there was some hunters, some like rough-looking individuals at that inn drinking one of the first nights we were there. When we were meeting with everyone kind of at that first night. So, might be worth stopping in there. If we want to go to this tower tonight, or we could do the other part of tonight's thoughts. I'm gonna message Lillaby very quietly. I don't know if we were gonna go to the Voctor house tonight or not.
Well, if we have a little puppy following us around, I don't know that we can.
Yeah. Seems like a good lead. I don't know. Do we want to further pursue this?
Yep. But I'm not carrying this mirror everywhere.
Mirror as big as you.
It's kind of cumbersome.
Yeah.
Victor says, I'll take my mirror. Mirka will help me. Right, Mirka? The cat's mouth open, but nothing comes out. See? She's going to help me.
Yeah.
He walks over and tries to grab the mirror, and as he does, he puts it on top of his head and he sort of wobbles back and forth as he tries to figure out the weight. You see his thin arms sort of shaking as he holds it. I got it. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'll like try to help him a little bit with one edge or one end. All right.
Oh, thank you. Oh, please follow me. You don't want to. We don't want to see Ivan up front, right? Let's take the back way.
Okay, let's go.
He walks you to the back of the house, and as he does, you can see there's a small gate that leads out from the back side of the house that's unguarded behind through the wall. And he says, "Okay, which way?"
I think we need to see our big map.
Oh, sure. I have this one. Is that the one you were talking about? Or the bigger map?
That's the city map. We need the Barovia map.
Okay.
Because we're looking for Lake Baratok, right?
I think
Or are we looking for somewhere else?
it wasn't certain, but I think that we were looking for a guide that could get us there, and Victor knew
Okay.
the name of someone who is a hunter. Victor, do you know where you might find this person?
Well, yes and no. You said you saw him at the inn, so let's check there.
I'm not certain I saw him, but it kind of seemed like some rough and tumble types.
Oh, well, Erwin will know.
The inn was pretty empty when we left, but
Come on, Mirka, let's go. And you see he starts to walk towards the inn.
I'll follow him because I'm holding the other end of the mirror.
Yeah. So as you go, you continue down the street towards the inn. As you look, you can see that there are some people that are in the inn now. Not very many necessarily, but you guys are walking with Victor and the mirror and this skeletal cat that's following him.
not looking conspicuous at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, every single person you pass is now looking at you as you're walking. So yeah, there's no hiding here. As you walk, Victor continues to say, I love living in Vallaki. It's such a great city. I'm so glad you're going to be here. And your name was Pip again, is that right? Thanks, Pip, for carrying this. And I think once you meet Stella, my best friend, she's so nice. I have met some other people through the mirror, and I'm a little nervous about them, but Stella's great. She doesn't visit that often. I wish she did. I miss her quite a bit.
I saw something flash in the mirror when I was carrying it.
You did?
Looked like a young girl.
That was Stella. Why didn't you tell me? I could have communicated with her. He stops. He's like, quick, Pip, help me look at this mirror. He's like in the middle of the street. I need to see.
We should probably go off to the side.
No. We're gonna do it right here. Help me. I can't see. Can you flip it for me? Excuse me, sir. Can you help me?
Right to the side of this, and I'm gonna like pull him to the side. And you off to the side.
Okay. He moves over. All right, fine. Show me where you saw him, sir. He says to Fozzie.
Mirror. It's just a flash.
Did she go from the left to the right, or did she go from the top to the bottom?
It was kind of like, like a flash. I didn't see her move. It was just a flash.
He goes, Stella! He yells, Stella Wagner! Into the mirror. Stella! We have to wait and see now.
Geez, I'm sorry I said anything. Let's continue on. If she comes back, she comes back.
But I won't see it because it'll be at the top of my head and nobody will be able to tell because, no offense, but none of you are tall.
Which means we just look for her later.
Hey, he's walking with you. Finally, you get to the inn, and I assume you go in. When you open up the door, you can see Erwin and Danica are sort of cleaning glasses behind the bar. There's a few people that are in here. They clearly are the Wallachian sort of natives that live here. They all look as you come in, and Erwin's sort of eyes get wide, and he goes, Victor. He goes, hi, Erwin. He's like, I found friends. He says, hello, friends.
We found him.
I see that. And you kept a mirror.
Yeah, Victor didn't really
You
want
put
to
this. We might need to store this someplace safe.
Victor says, it's very important. It's the only thing I have left of my family. Erwin says, oh, okay. Yeah, we can, we'll put it behind the kegs, okay?
Is that a secure place, or?
Yes, it's super secure. I mean, it's kegs. Everybody wants wine. He smiles.
This would be better placed in maybe the attic.
Oh, sure. I'll put it in the attic. No problem. Victor sits down. He says, so, have you seen Soldazar lately? Danica says, no, I haven't seen him since a few nights ago. Probably out hunting. She looks at all of you. Are your friends looking for him too?
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to go to Lake Baratok.
She kind of looks around the room. She says, oh, I've heard it's a boring lake. Nothing really there to see. Victor says, no, there's a magical tower there. A big magical tower. Danica says, that's just rumors. She's like, there's no tower there, son. Like, yes, there is. No, there's not. It's fine. Don't worry. Hey, Victor, can you do me a favor? My boys are upstairs. Can you go find them and go play? Oh, yeah, I love playing with those little guys. I'll be back. See you guys. You see he kind of runs up the steps.
So...
Clitter clatter of skeletal cat feet going up behind him.
He was found rummaging around in the ashes of the burnt down house.
How sad.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Seems to think his friend is caught in that mirror.
Oh dear. Is it safe to have the mirror here?
Definitely not safe to be hanging out in public.
So are you taking him with you to the lake?
Is it
I
true?
don't think we should. He's a little too young and it's dangerous out there.
Yeah, I'd be a little nervous.
That tower really a tall tale, or is it rooted in some sort of truth?
It's off the beaten path. I mean, you're not going to be traveling down the road. It's...
Do you know
Definitely.
where it is? Can you point it out on this map?
I don't. You said, I suspect it's probably the lake to the west with the tower, but you really should have a guide. Those paths are not roads. They're hunting paths. Are you really looking for Zodalovich? Yeah, Zodalovich.
Well, a guide of some kind, yes.
Well, my recommendation is they have a hunting shack that's near the River Luna. I probably find them over there. I think my recommendation that would be in the morning. They usually trap out there in the morning.
Okay.
Sometimes at night they'll come here, but sometimes they find a tree to sort of hide in at night, I think. So if you're going to do that, I would probably go tomorrow.
Okay.
Unless you think you can get there tonight to see him, maybe.
That's okay. Daytime travel is always safer in this place.
Yeah, there's kind of in a ramshackle hut sort of at the mouth of the Luna River is where they typically stay. I think they do like skinning and gutting and butchering of their kills there. So I probably what I would recommend, she says, you know the city well, right?
Ish.
Yeah, so I would go to the Lake Zarvich Gate. It's to the north.
Mm-hmm.
Go through there, go to the lake, and then just go to the left. You'll see their shack there. That's how I would get to them if I was you. Probably out of your way that you're normally going to go, but I think that'll probably be the safest way versus going through the woods or following the river back up.
Question. You had mentioned, I don't know if it was you or your husband, or if it was Blue that said, if leaving Vallaki, we shouldn't be going through gates. Is there a better, safer way to get in and out of this town than the gates?
She said, only if you can fly.
Can you fly?
Can I fly?
No.
No, I never leave the city. Somebody has to run this in, otherwise Irwin would give free drinks and food out to everyone.
Well, you said you never leave the city. That didn't answer my question, though.
You think I fly?
I mean, that if that's the only way to leave without walking through a gate, and that was a recommendation, I'm curious as to if that is what you were insinuating.
If you are way too literal. No, I don't fly. I love how you think that I have that special ability. I mean, there may be some people in this group right here that can fly, as she looks at Lillaby, or whoever. I think it was you guys had indicated that Lillaby was somebody that could change. Maybe you weren't. But she said some of you may be able to, but I can't fly.
Oh. Sounds like we'll have to deal with the gates then. That was tomorrow the 7th. That was something we had to do with Lucian at the St. Angel Church, right? There was some big ceremony that was going to happen.
There is a
tomorrow?
big ceremony that's there tomorrow, but you had to have the bones there by then, and you already have returned. So
Okay, so we already have returned them.
it is. I mean, it's late afternoon. I guess you could go out to the lake if you wanted to check.
Would you guys take care of Victor and keep an eye on him and keep him safe?
Oh yeah, he'll be upstairs playing for hours. Kids love that weird cat of his.
Well, maybe if you, we might need some privacy upstairs in the attic to discuss our next steps.
Sure.
Thank you for giving us a place to be.
Of course.
Alrighty, squad. What are we thinking?
Well, we're going to go find this guide and then head to that lake, right?
Seems reasonable.
I guess we should put this mirror somewhere and maybe go to get a rest and head out in the morning.
We're gonna check the inn tonight to see if the hunters come in.
Sure.
But yeah, if they're not, then I guess we head out and see if we can find them.
Sounds good. So you guys come down to the inn for the night, and you can see that various people kind of come in and out throughout the night. But just about time of closing time or so, you see two gentlemen that you remember kind of walk through the door. And as they do, Danica gives a big smile, and they sort of wave to her. You can see the sort of the stench of what looks like maybe dried blood from cleaning and whatnot on their clothes that they have, and they kind of wave, and Danica points to the two chairs that they were sitting in the first night, and both of them sit down, and as that happened, Danica comes over and she says, "Good luck. I'm in for the night. Let me get him a couple drinks, and then you can talk to him."
Thank you.
She puts a couple drinks down and slides them across, and she just sort of nods to you guys and then kind of continues to work around.
Wow, she did us a solid. Who wants to talk to him?
I don't know that I'd be coherent. I'm pretty tired.
Ozzy, do you want to give it a stab?
What are our talking points?
We essentially just need guidance and a guide to get us to that lake, and we're looking to find a tower on that lake
Sure.
that may have some helpful things for us. We're seeking information.
Sure. I'll talk.
Okay. You can see the two of them are sort of whispering back and forth as you kind of walk up towards them.
I'll offer to buy them a drink and ask if I can join them.
You see Yevgeny looks to you and he says, "Anybody buying drinks is always welcome. Please have a seat." And he kind of pulls the chair out for you.
Hi, my name's Fozzie And me and my friends, or my brothers and sisters,
Yeah,
are looking for a guide to Lake Baratok.
Lake Baratok. He looks over and Soltazar says, "Why in the world do you want to go to that lake?"
We're hoping to find some information
Well,
about the history of this place.
Huh.
Apparently, there's a tower there.
well, there's a tower, no doubt. Nobody lives in it. Haven't for a long time. I don't think anybody's even tried to enter it. We've been there. We've seen the lake. Not a lot of game around there. Wolves seem to clean it up the best, but I can give you directions nonetheless. You don't have a map, do you, by chance?
Yeah, here you go.
As you lay down the map, he goes, yes, of course. It's right here. And he puts an arrow and he kind of points on the map and he says, that's where it's located. I recommend going out the westerly gate. Probably in the morning, to be honest with you. Go till you get to the crossroads. Once you get to the crossroads, turn to the right. Follow the path. It's not that hard to follow, but I'm going to warn you. Wolves have become more active in that area, especially north of the road. These aren't normal wolves. They're werewolves. Are you familiar with that? You're familiar with the woods?
Sort of. I think we've run into a couple before.
Woods around this lake that we had talked about, Lake Veritov, is their hunting grounds. I don't recommend dilly-dallying. There appears to be an increase in their activity. Quite a bit of a flurry, to be honest with you. I suspect the pack has come under new leadership. Probably a more reckless alpha. Don't know where they come from, but you should keep your eye out when you're traveling those woods. But
So we follow this path most of the way?
yes, exit out to Vallaki through the western sunset gate. Cross the bridge that fords the Luna River. You're going to see the north branch of the Luna River. There's a crossroads, and there's typically a sign there. Hopefully it's still there. It says Lake Baratok. You're going to follow that path. It bends through the woods, but you ultimately arrive to the lake.
Sounds reasonable. I should be able to get us there.
Man of the woods, huh? I wondered. You look like someone who could get their way around.
Mm-hmm. I do understand the woods a bit.
I do recommend traveling, like I said, early.
How long is the trip?
A couple hours, maybe. Not that far. Probably could get there and back in a day.
Okay.
Definitely.
Hopefully
maybe,
we find what we're looking for.
Yeah, maybe hour and a half to the crossroads. Maybe. No, sorry. Maybe an hour and a half. Not that long. It depends on how fast you travel. You do have shorter feet, or legs. No offense.
Mm-hmm. None taken.
Yeah. Okay, good. And thanks for the drink.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for the directions and the help.
We won't be out that way, but if we get wind of anything before morning, we'll be by the river and let you know.
Well, thanks again.
You hear Yenvig says, I think we got some traps down there we need to pick up anyways, so yeah, we'll see if we see you down there. Cheers.
Cheers. And thanks again. I'll go back and... Did everybody come with me, or was I alone?
I think you were alone. Sounded
Okay,
like...
I'll go back and tell everybody I know how to get there.
As you go back, he says, hey, just one word of advice. Make sure you have silver weapons with you.
Yes.
Good.
I
figured you knew.
I show him my... No,
Ah.
I don't. Actually, no, I don't.
You don't? Okay, gotcha. He's like, that's the only thing that'll kill them. Good. He tips the glass to you. as you turns back and he talks to his friend.
I'll rejoin our group and tell them that we're all good to go. In the morning, early, with the sunrise.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan.
So we take off at sunrise to the tower.
It's a 1.5 to 3 hour trip. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Depending on what we run into, of course. Things always seem to find us on these paths.
It's true.
You go to sleep?
I guess we do, yeah.
Where do you rest? Do you rest in your room or do you go up into the
We go to where Erwin and Danica told us to go, I think, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So as you go into the loft, you see that the window is slightly open and there are 4 ravens perched in the rafters looking down at you as you climb up.
Good night, birdies.
One of them croaks.
Is Blue there?
Blue the raven or Blue the person?
Blue the raven.
No.
Sad day. Is Blue the person there?
No, Blue the person's not there either.